of the Mid-Season Cup this year. Gideon, what a performance. It was a roller coaster, but at the very last moment, after CW Savage, it was lights out.
Chewe, remember the name Calvin Winata. This guy, he is nasty on the Beatrix, has been out of meta for a long time, but he's gonna be bringing it back to show you how it's done.
It's back to the drawing board for the MPL MENA champions. They've been growing their arsenal, but against one of the most lethal teams, one of the defending champions returning to the Mid-Season Cup. They've got to pull out more than that. I believe it's time to throw back to our analysts while we check out the highlights.
We're checking out the highlights. We got to talk about how in this game, Loopy 1v2, sure he died, but that was awesome. But the Savage coming in from CW.
It always seems to happen to CW, dude, right? Like every time we talk about Fnatic Onyx, we're like, oh yeah, Keyboy, Kyrie's a god, Lutpi, new rookie in town, Gila Sans. And then we don't say anything about CW, but he speaks the loudest. He screams in-game through that Savage. That was spectacular, but even all the way from the start of the game, right? I mean, the Beatrix pick already to set him up for success, and in the way that he was able to play the Beatrix Wolf.
I think you gotta have to hand it to the team that was losing in this game. I think they really challenged Onyx in this game, particularly how Ding was able to play. This play coming up from Lark, however, Lutpi as well has been unleashed. I really thought that there were so many times where I thought that he would have lost just because of what he was doing, like with this particular play. But then eventually he outplays, he trades for the team. I think one trait that has always been very successful for Onyx in general is that they know how to trade. When they see a play that they might lose on and they may be losing some of their heroes, eventually they pick up the slack and then find a trade from somewhere else in the map. And definitely that's what happened with this game.
Here's the thing. Using a Beatrix, usually you scale, like you take a long time to scale because your first item is the Blade of Despair, and the Blade of Despair is a very expensive item. But the thing is, if you get your Blade of Despair the same time as your opponent gets the Stardom Scythe, dude, I don't know how CW is farming, man, but he's so fast.
He's so active on the map, and I think it all comes down to the question I even asked Wolf, right? Why the Beatrix? Why was the Beatrix so prio here for Fnatic Onyx?
Yeah, well, I would say it was a means to an end. Like I told you before, the Ling was the centerpiece here, and the Beatrix was more of a hero that you used to clear out the lanes fast so that the Benedetta as well as the other members other members of the opponents will not be as effective. You're the bruiser as well with your Nibiru as well as your Bennett's Rage, and then the Ling will be the one to kind of sweep it all off. But then CW plays that Beatrix just so well. Like, I think it's one of his signature picks. He was able to get the Savage and, you know, be the centerpiece even when it's just a hero of like a means to an end kind of hero.
You know, the crazy thing is usually we see this crazy I would say savages perhaps coming in from an assassin jungler, but again, CW really showing up. And I gotta say, there were a few times where like, okay, this fight looks 50-50. The moment you see on screen pump, double kill, Beatrix, okay, you know what? No longer 50-50. This is all Fnatic Onyx.
So many ways that they were able to out-micro, I would say, right? Because it definitely seems like for Falcons, they were very, very confident coming into this matchup. Good Knight getting a lot of crazy engages with the Divine Judgment, and also just really good damage as he was poking. But I guess in that department as well, even though he was very, very impressive, Sans kind of outclassed him too, right? The fact that he was up against the Benedetta, the Baksha, this kind of composition that should, on paper, be able to punish a Farsa, yet couldn't at all in the game. 3-0-8, and it wasn't like Sans was playing. In the team fights, he was playing all the way in the back, but we were even laughing at how he was flying in front of the turrets. It's Sans doing Sans things.
Inside the turrets, man.
That's just Sans. That's Gila Sans.
He's very good at calculating pixels. I would say he's a pixel art master, where there was a time in the middle where the Edith tried to initiate and try to go for the suplex, but he was able to jump with just one tiny pixel, then stayed in front, like staring him down like with the Farsa wings by wings. You really feel the tension in.
Call him Picasso, man, because he is an artist, an absolute artist. But Loopy as well in this game really showing, I would say, nerves of steel, because he didn't look nervous at all. It looked like he's very
team for so long, someone that was carrying the team for so long as well from Season 8. Now you get to see it finally on the international stage.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, this performance has been amazing. But based on what we saw in the first match of the day, things can definitely turn around. Team Falcons, at least what we saw in game number 1 going up against Fnatic Onyx, it does look like they have showed instances where the mechanics are there. Ding looked good, Lark looked good. It's just that perhaps in game number 1, they were a little bit taken aback. They were surprised by what happened. But in game number 2, things could change, couldn't it?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I think there wasn't really that much when it comes to like the drafting choices. I think the fact that on Fnatic Onyx are in the red side, there's nothing really can do with that last pick. But then again, they were brave enough and bold enough to give the link, so it kind of tells me that they are prepared for this. I don't prescribe it against Fnatic Onyx, but if they are prepared for this, I mean, like they have good coaching staff for sure. They know that they can look at many VODs of Fnatic Onyx. Maybe that they should be doing the same thing. Like I said, I would not prescribe that when going up against Fnatic Onyx.
But that's the thing. I feel like for Falcons, the fact that they gave over the Angeling combination, they were prepared for the Angeling. When they didn't go for the Angeling, they just didn't know. Wait, it's just going to be a Ling. All right, they're definitely going to pick up the Angela for first phase, last pick, right? And then they go for the Farsa, and then it confused them even more. So Fnatic Onyx have so many more ways to throw curveballs at their opponents,
For sure.
even in the drafts, and that's why they love the red side so much. They get to react.
Maybe it's just that Fnatic
again,
Onyx
girl.
is like,
Welcome to
okay,
the stream.
we've been training for 14 years with the Ling, and then for 13 of those years, they keep on banning the Angela. You know, I'm sick of this. I don't care about the Angela anymore. Let's just assume we'll never get this hero ever again. And that's why they just be like, you know what, even if it's up, don't take it. You know what? I never liked it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? Extra shields?
I don't need it.
I'm Kyrie.
Yeah.
Right?
Say it right.
Huh?
Say it right.
I'm Kyrie.
There you go.
I cannot do that. But then
I
again,
apologize to everyone else in the studio, you know?
there's also this weird interaction where they went in for the Valentina, which is also definitely great against the Angeling in general. Ling versus the Ling, it's great. Versus the Angela, it's also okay. The answer was the Farsa. And then a Kaja, which is interesting because now
That's interesting.
you pick up a hero that kind of amplifies the Valentina, right? But then this is like you know that options paralysis where you have so much good ultimates to copy. You gotta have to copy the Farsa ultimate or the Kaja ultimate, right? So you're forced in this situation where if you want to pick up the Kaja, you kind of have to find the Kaja, which obviously Hiboy is not gonna let you do that so easily. And then he wants to pick up Sans, he has to get up close and
Hello. I guess now I'm audible.
Fnatic Onyx. Who am I to say?
It's kind of like going to a hotel buffet. There's a lot of picks, man.
Yeah.
Too many picks.
Too many picks. Like, you might want Omali.
You might.
I will
want
always.
Omali.
I want Omali.
Shout
like
out,
right
shout
now.
out to
Like
Mali.
literally right now. I want Omali.
You want it right now?
Like literally right now.
I mean, it's really sweet. It's amazing, just like that victory for Fnatic Onyx. But now we have to talk a little bit about, for me personally, later on, do Falcons want to take away that red side? Because I think that's been a core way to actually try to outdraft Fnatic Onyx. That's what we've seen in MPL Indonesia as well. So I'm expecting Falcons to actually do that up against Fnatic Onyx. Take the red side.
Honestly, my question really is, like, we saw that Fnatic Onyx took the Ling. Was there any real answers for the Ling for the side of Falcons?
They banned it, right, Julian?
I think in Tigreal, actually.
No, I mean, like, the draft that they got at that moment, were any of those picks were any kind of answer for the Ling pick? Like the Valentina,
for sure.
Harith.
Valentina is definitely an answer. Harith is not, but if you play it in a certain way, it could be. Like you saw Lark actually outplaying Kyrie at least one time that I saw. We can also think, if you think about the Benedetta, if you play it correctly, yes, you can outplay the Ling. But then there's a lot of problems that he has to solve. The Farsa, for example, is actually Farsa and Beatrix kind of forces the Benedetta, forces Ding to choose between do you have to go to the backlines for?
So
does it have to be the Farsa or something?
So it's basically like the way that Fnatic Onyx draft is that we have a lot of problems. Try to find answers for it. So I kind of feel like during the draft, Falcons, they need to have one answer that can solve multiple problems. But again, it's easier said than done.
Way easier said than done, right? But Fnatic Onyx, they somehow make it work. They're always able to execute these very difficult compositions. Because if you give this kind of composition to anyone else, it'd be very hard to pull off. I even remember in MPL Indonesia when, you know, the assassins were meta, where it was still the utility jungle meta, and they popped off on the assassins.
Yeah.
It looked ridiculous, because on paper, this should not be a composition that could win.
Yeah, I think maybe it's, if we're gonna be looking at the back at the draft, maybe this is a composition versus composition kind of counter, not more of a hero versus hero counter. Wherein if you want to go for countering the Ling, maybe just get another side laner that can split push like the Benedetta, for example, and the 4 other members will just go and group up and then just push and siege towers over and over. I think they tried to go for that play too. And Harith, Edith, Valentina with their jungler that definitely can snowball off of sieging towers, then let Ding take over. However, Lutpi made it difficult. It kind of paralyzed Ding in that regard, where he just really kept Ding in place.
So many layers.
Yeah, I gotta say, looking at this match in particular, I kind of feel like we have to give attention to the side lanes, both EXP as well as the gold lane, because even though, yes, the mid trio for both teams were very impressive indeed, but it looks like the playmakers are coming from the side. So I really want to see how Falcon may have to give a little bit more room to Ding and maybe move around with him to really secure a big team fight win against Fnatic Ane, because at this point, maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need to take out 3 members at a time to really take advantage of the map. But now the draft has started. Fnatic Ane is going to be first pick, Falcon second pick. Fnatic Ane instantly banning out the Faramis.
See, this was one of the big weakness points for Fnatic Ane coming into the playoffs. When teams would be able to take that red side away from them, it took away the side that, you know, obviously Yeb is most comfortable on.
Yeah.
But through the playoffs, when we got to the later stage, they could play both sides. They could play both sides effectively. And I would say on the blue side, they're even more dominant when it comes to just forcing these big picks off. Because now you don't have to get rid of the chip. Now some of these picks you can actually take for yourself.
That's
so now Falcons have technically put themselves in a spot to be dictated. Like, it's all Fnatic Ane right now.
But then again, you give yourself a, you know,
You give that reactivity.
you give yourself a fighting chance, and that's all that matters in
Look at
there,
that.
right? You gotta adjust it. Edith going to be banned. You're forced to ban the Julian and the Chip. Between Louis and Chip, I think you would rather give up the Louis at this point, because Chip is just so good at the metagame that we have right now. With all of the new items, like imagine a Chip with a Sky Piercer kind of damage dealer to go with it, with the bonus damage. It's just ridiculous amount of damage. Think about a Chip here if you're Falcon Esports.
Honestly, Chip with Sky Piercer is crazy enough that I actually like it.
Chip with Sky Piercer?
Chip with Sky Piercer.
The base damage early is insane.
Yeah. No, like imagine, like after 2 minutes just jumping inside the jungle, and then even with the first kill, imagine the first kill getting a triple kill.
Sky Piercer kind of...
Falcons think so too.
Yeah, Falcons think so too. It's like, yo, Sky Piercer and Chip is scary.
Public service warning, don't try this at home.
Try it in your friend's home.
Wow.
Try it in your friend's ranked game. See how they like that.
Okay, so I guess you banned Valentina here if you're Fnatic Ane, or... Yeah, they banned Louis themselves. They want to take the Harith, I believe. Fnatic Ane allows CW to flourish in that. But, you know, Fnatic Ane is going to be crazy enough if to pick up Ling when Harith and Ling is available.
Are they crazy enough to go for Angela? Just Angela first pick, right? Because that has been what Fnatic Ane has been doing in MPLID?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're a team that... They're one of the few teams that can do that.
Yeah.
But then again, I think they will only do that if the Valentina is not an option for the opposing team. Yeah, you just give up so much. You lose the lane because you're Angela going up against Valentina. You give up a good ultimate hard guard. Allows him to get up close and personal. So with that, with this kind of draft, I would say Ling should be the option for Fnatic Ane. The safest play is Harith first pick. But the Fnatic Ane way is either Angela or Ling. I would say Ling is the choice here.
What about the Roger, though, right? The fact that the Roger is still up for grabs as well. You don't think it's as prio? Okay, the Harith still comes up. Still super prio despite the fact, you know, in wildcard, we got a different treatment.
I would say the win rate isn't really on Harith's favor, but again...
I think wildcard it was 0%.
Hey. 0 is better than negative.
I don't think you can get negative.
Moskov and Arlet, perhaps, the answer, I would say. Definitely Moskov is a hero of consideration going up against Harith, because he'll just win that lane afterwards.
I mean,
they go Ling and Arlet. Okay, so this is Yeah, they're picking up the
Same draft.
Same draft. Will Fnatic pick up the Valentina? Probably.
I think they should. At this point, perhaps Fnatic Onyx, they should pick up the Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina to go with perhaps a Terizla. They've picked up Fanny.
Oh.
We can even hear the crowd's reaction.
Fanny Valen,
Like,
come on,
oh.
Fanny Valen. Show it up, show it.
I mean, you can challenge, you can try to go for the Ling pick, right? But that's only an open challenge to Fnatic Onyx.
right.
They're like, all right, if you want to go assassin versus assassin, we want that too. We want to go for a damage dealer, a physical damage dealer in the jungle. That's usually always the case when they go for the Herald.
Yeah. Really thinking about Valen here. Oh, they picked up Terizla as also prescribed. Falcon, will they pick up the Angela this time? That's a problem though.
Pick up the
'cause-
Angela and ban the Valentina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like. It's gonna be the best option here for Falcon. Apart from that,
But
maybe-
I don't know. Like, personally for me, I really don't like playmakers like Goodnight picking up heroes like the Angela.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, so even if they pick it up, perhaps give it over to the roamer because Angela can do work in the mid lane. I know, I get it, but it's like cutting off someone's potential, you know?
that's right.
How are you?
But if you do that, either way, right? You go and give super, the Angela, then Fnatic Onyx will cut down on
I
all the
can't see the
frontliners, and they're
pole
going to have a
in
good
my-
time with all the damage output that they have in their composition. So technically now, with the Angela too, I mean, you get so much more sustain for your Ling, but it's kind of one-dimensional in a way where the Ling needs to succeed.
Yeah.
If the Ling gets shut down in the early game with an Angela, it'll be too one-dimensional. So
Tigreal.
go for more,
Mention this.
more team fighting.
Oh, dude, it really makes a lot of sense here. Tigreal is, it's a sleeper pick in a way that people,
But-
just don't consider it, but it's definitely good versus Assassins.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, Assassins is good and all, but we got to remember how in game number 1, CW was amazing on that Beatrix. And doesn't Harv want Purify anyways? Like,
Yeah.
it might be an answer towards the Fanny, but I feel like, again, you got to have one option that answers multiple questions, and I kind of feel like it's not really an answer towards the Harv.
That's why I feel like a lot of teams up against Fnatic Onyx, they tend to overthink, they tend to overcomplicate things up against Kyrie. They always think about, all right, how do we counter Kyrie? And then they forget about CW. Because even in the previous game, I feel like that's what happened. They were focused on Kyrie, all right, on the
Exactly.
Ling. We gotta catch him, we gotta get Sans as well. How do we counter Keyboy? And then CW just comes in, gets a Savage.
Yeah, again, I want to be proven wrong, but I feel like they should respect the Finals MVP of Fnatic on it. They should respect CW. If they don't have an answer at all, it's going to be a bit tough.
Yeah, I wonder what the answer will be. Maybe somewhere along the lines of a hard lockdown from the EXP lane, or a combo with the Arlet. But then again, you already know the Arlet is going to the EXP lane, right? So maybe a Burst Mage. And what is that? The Farsa, for example, Kadira perhaps. If Kadira Tigreal would be good. I might be forced for a Valentina. Or maybe just go the farming route. Let's just farm it out. Let's go for Angela in the mid lane, and then let's go for a Beatrix. I wonder if
Vixana
Falcon
is-
play.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, Vixana is not that big of a burst, but it's still okay in this comp, right?
And you got a lot of CC to play with the Vengeance.
But there's Fanny. It's
That's
difficult.
that's the problem.
It's difficult to
yeah, it
play
is
the
difficult.
Vex.
Oh, you know what? Go full crazy. Odette,
Ooh.
right?
That's
Go
actually a pretty good pick,
right.
actually. Yeah,
Go crazy.
Yeah, it's actually really good versus the Harith.
Yeah.
I love it. And with Implosion, that's a great combo. Yeah, that's a really nice pick if they do pick it up.
The Fanny as well and the Tigreal. Technically, everybody who wants to dive, they all get punished by the Odette, especially
That's
you
right.
said, they have layers of CC, the Implosion, even the
Yeah.
final slash to knock them all in to the Swan Song.
Yeah. Man. Okay, so I wonder if there's this argument for Zask, but I think it might be for Fnatic Onyx this time. Ling hates that hero because he just constantly gets outplayed, and if you go down, like if you don't have the first skill, if you're just walking through, you're gonna be just be destroyed by that Zask. So Falcons, they ban out the Valentina, obviously.
They already have a magic damage dealer, right?
Yeah.
So technically, they can put Sans on an Angela,
Yeah.
and then they could actually just amplify how much of a threat the
Exactly.
Fanny can be, the Herith can be. A lot of possibilities still for Fnatic Onyx, but that possibility technically is also up for grabs for
Okay,
Falcons.
Exactly, that's the first pick.
But it's going to be on Good Night.
Yep. But I
Angela.
think they might be forcing the Angela. They might be forcing the hand on Angela here. Angela Tigreal, not the best combination actually in the mid lane. So that puts him in a very awkward spot.
Because where's the damage going to come from?
Yep.
Exactly.
Right? Ling needs the Berserk Fury as well.
Odette might be, or maybe they just settle for the Vex and just try to outplay it. Vex with Arlet is also pretty good. They go Beatrix, as we did say. Okay, come on, Fnatic, give us the Zask. Apart from that, the Grok looks really good for Fnatic. Minotaur as well looks really good. And Franco also looks good for Fnatic, just so that they can counter the Ling.
Honestly, I do like the Minotaur, like, have a teamfight comp that doesn't need the Fanny.
Yeah.
How good would it be if it was a Cho here?
Cho,
right?
yeah.
Cho is pretty good too.
All right, they go for the Grok. That's a safer
Okay.
choice. You go for instant initiation. You can kind of cancel the Tigreal as well with the Power of Nature and then straight into the Wild Charge. So a lot
Nana.
of different ways to counter this composition with the Grok, but final pick.
Zask or Nana for me. I know it's crazy. They might just settle for a Vex so that, you know, you have a...
Or an
you have
Angela.
reach, or an Angela.
Angela, yeah.
Instead of the reach for the Beatrix. That sounds boring. Let's, you know...
Spice it up a bit.
Spice it up a bit.
They go for Aurora.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Spicy enough.
Spicy enough, but she's technically not spicy.
Yeah.
She's cold. She's
yeah.
ice.
She's ice cold, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so... I hope they're the team that picks up the Odette. But then, this Aurora pickup, as well as the Grok, kind of really gives you that go signal to just go back for the Vex. Vex, Angela, and like I said, the Odette.
I feel like the Angela's problem is that you don't have enough damage. They go for the Lunox.
Yeah, okay, this is the least that I would think of because usually when you go for the Lunox, there has to be a vehicle somewhere along the lines of a chip or maybe a Matilda so that you can initiate. Lunox is very slow. Against the Fanny, I'm not sure if that will fare well.
Well, the thing is, Wolf is not a big fan of the Lunox pick. We got to ask the casters, how do you guys feel about the Lunox pick?
So maybe the Lunox is the answer that Falcon is looking for to even the odds against the tournament favorite in Fnatic Onyx. Leon Gideon back again at the desk here to bring you the second game of this best of two. I don't know if you like the Lunox, because I'm here for it. Maybe they can make it work.
I think the Lunox is actually not too bad in these types of compositions, right? Because at the end of the day, it's really going to come down to how do you team fight. And with so many initiation tools, the Brilliance alone is really, really powerful in these sorts of cases where you just want to dodge the damage and then maybe make a play afterwards with maybe the Darkening, take out those frontliners, and really deals a good amount of damage, especially to Terizla with that Body of Smith passive.
And here we'll see how they use that in the early to make up for it, because this is the kind of mage you want to see on Good Night. Good Night is an anchor and a core for Team Falcons in any of their iterations, and now they're going to need to get him online. Oh, look at this, an early fight.
Okay, they're going to be pushing Keyboy as quickly as possible, but Kyrie gets in the middle of the mix. Good Night, forced to flicker away. This is what we're talking about, right? This is how dangerous it is in these early stages of the game. Anybody could go down and could start this snowball.
And up top, you see the 1v1 between Ding and Lutpi, both bruisers, both CC specialists, especially when it comes down to these bigger team fights. And wow, check this out. Sans, I don't think you could do that with maybe with a Valentina, but you couldn't do that with a Vexana. Not at that range.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think that, like, Aurora is very similar in this position to the Lunox, right? With that Pride of Ice passive, being able to, like, tank a good amount of damage, but at the same time have an option of maybe escaping when you're getting doved on by Kenji, for an example. I think there might be some ways that Fnatic Onyx can get really creative with the way they play this comp.
Yep, checking out the opening builds here. I think this is Ding now, understanding the dynamic between who's the beatdown. He builds an early Dreadnought armor. Oh, super.
He's gone here. That's going to be first blood instantaneously. Kyrie finds it. Just wrong place, wrong time, right? There's nothing much you can really say about that. They're trying to open up the map, but as soon as they saw it, Super, he already missed out on his flicker. Can't do much about it.
And he was in too deep. There wasn't really anywhere for him to go. And there were other members of Fnatic Onyx in the vicinity. So that opens up this first hurdle of the game. No one making moves quite yet. You'll see here, it's Super who goes ahead and checks in. And so far...
I don't think they're going to fight.
Yeah, just wailing away.
I personally don't think they want to fight here. I think that Team Falcons, like, Goodnight is about to hit level 4, but at the same time, Fnatic Onyx, right? You can see that Kyrie, he's ready to jump in. Oh, here comes Lupti with penalty zone onto Ding straight away. Good frigid breath from Sans, instantly securing that kill. But Kyrie, oh wait, the entire backline ends up dying. Kenji getting hit by the wild charge from Keyboy because of a flicker play. Really nicely done. You blink, you miss it, and the next to fall super. That's a double for Sans.
It was a 0-frame wild charge. Again, you don't even have to blink. It really just happened in an instant, and next thing you know, your hero can't even move. Now down bottom, looks like Lark and Goodnight looking for a revenge kill on the CW while they can, since he's not built up quite yet. You're looking at a 3-minute game, 4-0 already, with Fnatic Onyx 2,000 gold ahead. That's what's allowing Keyboy here to bother their oh, look at that. He made the orange buff make a lap, man.
Gosh, and it's past the 2 minutes, so he's allowed to do it. He's like, yes, the one thing that I've been enjoying, just messing with junglers, ruining their days.
Oh, and Super's trying to repair that, like, I need to hold this down for Kenji. And you're looking at a Ling, man. It's not like they changed anything in Ling's dynamics. Like, that's still an assassin. That's still a hero that needs a lot of build-up. Now, Keyboy in trouble. Wild charge out.
Instantly out. Oh, but he gets pulled back in by the final slash, though. Sans does drop down the ult as well. Okay. So now Super all by himself has to flicker away, has no escape mechanics, and Kyrie picks him off for free.
Frigid Glacier, enough to find that trap, the counter engage. And still, Team Falcons left high and dry. Nothing to their name. 5-0. This lead is growing, man. We're looking at almost 3,000 ahead for the Indonesian 4-time champion squad, the defending MSC champions. Let's look what the items look like as of now. Chewe rocking that Starlium Scythe already. That just needs to get updated real quick. And as well, you see Bladed Heptases on the Kyrie.
And so far, resources are coming out of Team Falcons, Kenji, Super, and even Lark, all using valuable resources. And Fnatic, honestly, don't have to do too much. Their presence alone is so lethal.
And here you'll see, just now, Lutpi built up to a War Axe. And again, you're playing on 2 different axes of who's offensive and who's defensive. And Fnatic Onyx are just always on the right side of that argument, always on the right side of that coin. And now check this out. Oh, look at the show of dominance from Kyrie pushing Kenji out of his own jungle.
Oh, down on the bot side, CW finds the kill onto Super. They might want to go a little bit more here. And CW, he's down for it. He's got the help of Keyboy. He just needs to bide some time. But now Kenji might be the next to fall here. Lupti, he doesn't mind. Oh, dodge the damage. He still has flicker. Penalty zones to secure it. Hey, Lark, wait. He finds a trade on to CW.
All right. Maybe bottom is where Falcons find redemption, but not gonna happen. All right, amazing work again, Lutpi. Say what you will about him coming in to repair a tough situation for Fnatic Onyx about 2 or 3 months ago, but now here he is, a mechanical beast, a flicker cancel. Penalty zone, it's amazing!
Yep, Lupti has been building up so much confidence from the regular season to the playoffs to winning their own individual regions league to now coming to an international and really showing off why they were put on the map in the first place. Here comes the dive. We see, oh, Lark forced the flicker out straight away. Kyrie has so much damage. It's not even close right now.
I don't blame Lark trying to find a way to retreat there. He was trying to get some damage, and now Keyboy gets a kill on him. Goodnight in trouble, forced to use the brilliance.
He gets out of there okay, but oh, they find all 3 in the final slash as well. This is the play that they've been looking for. Ding finds Kyrie. CW does get Genji to stop the initial push, but they've traded equally here. 2 for 2 in that engagement. What a great play coming up from Team Falcons, and they're not done just yet. Lark trying to cut down Lupti as much as he can. Lupti, he's trying to tank through the damage. Can he find it? No. Goes down to the vengeance of Ding. I'm done with this lane.
He still finds a trade though. The body of Smith able to keep him alive, plus the spell vamp, just enough to make it worth Fnatic Onyx time. I gotta say, CW's mid-game power spike here at 7 minutes, I think that's what made it a little better for Fnatic Onyx, despite the amazing catch by Ding. That could have been lethal. If ever it was a switcheroo, if it was CW on the Beatrix and Lark on the Harith, that could have been a wipeout.
Yeah, man. The replay didn't catch the initial play started by Super. He was trying to replicate a game-winning moment from M5 when Keyboy did it himself. The 5-man implosion, he was so close to it. But unfortunately, like, if Kenji just survived a little bit longer, I think he could have cleaned up the entire team. But now the mid lane, oh, Keyboy! He does find luck! He can't get out of there in time. The Frigid Frost already locking down the tower, but it doesn't really matter anymore. So many members are already dead. And even Kenji, he doesn't want to go in there anymore. He's like, that's too much to handle.
It was a dispersal of Team Falcons. Like, one kill led to another, and it scrambled their formation. There's very little left on the map for Team Falcons to scrunch up. And need I remind you, they're playing with a Ling. It's tough to play from this defensive position. Again, best case scenario, they start splitting the map. They send Kenji down to the bottom lane, but Kyrie is just as quick, just as agile a hero.
Like once a year,
so they're going to be playing
twice
tag.
Like this examination.
Okay, all right. I guess they really wanted to buff on that one. Oh, wait, hold on. The Frigid Breath. Oh, into the Glaciers. Oh, they fight too. They quickly get out of their iframes. Okay, boy, making sure that Goodnight isn't having a good time. Gets pushed underneath the tower. Can somebody dive them already? As we see the Tempest Blades already come out. Man after man being thrown. Fnatic, Onyx say no more sacrifices. We've done what we can. We're sorry, boy. We can only get Goodnight.
Ceasefire underneath tier 2, and the inhibitor He's gonna fall. Sans gets a kill, and another body dropped up top.
Man.
Fnatic Onyx don't want to stop.
Yeah, they're just running out of patience. They're sick of this. Team Falcons, you're going to be playing real passive? No worries. We're just going to start walking up. All of this starting because they won their individual lanes.
Kyrie's making big money moves, man. He just picked up the Blade of Despair. That's it. Even Super's going to feel it despite his passive on the Tigreal. Despite building a Dominus Ice, might be too little too late. Fnatic Onyx are looking at about 6,000 gold ahead. I'm thinking, all right, 2, 2, and 3 on Goodnight. Could they maybe win underneath turret? Because look. What does he have on him now? Just the Gideon, just the glowing wand.
Yeah, it's really not enough here, and it looks like he might just diversify, right?
Yeah, is he splitting between HC and...
I don't think so. I think he just wants just a little bit of mana regen, right?
That's a little greedy, though.
I think the greedy thing would be going for the Holy Crystal, but we do just see him purchase the Blood Wings. He needs that really bad. That shield is so important. Now he's going to start building into that Holy Crystal to have some relevant damage, but for the time being, I think the power spikes are just not in their favor, right? We're even seeing CW. He's also got a Holy Crystal.
Yeah, but he's in a position to do that. That is disposable income, is what we call it. But right now, check it out. Lord taken here by Fnatic Onyx, no question. Blitzed it. And wow, look, when the cat is away, the mouse goes to play. Team Falcons making a push down bottom, but just as they should, they disperse. They let go. That's dangerous. It's greedy.
The Keep sets the game. Keyboy. Wait, he didn't see it. He turns around. Wait, they don't notice. And then Locke walks out. He could have just stood still. Oh, man. Now he's out of position, gets hit by the wild charge, and another stack for Kyrie.
That's a curious call. Did the wild charge not stop him or spot him? Did it stop right where he wasn't?
I mean, it did cancel the recall, essentially. It should have revealed him at that point in time, but here we go. The implosion down on the bot side of the map to find Kyrie. Not enough to get out of there. Wait, hold on.
That's a shutdown.
It could be an even bigger shutdown here if they get an inhibitor off of this, but Team Falcons should be able to regroup off of that play as the Lord is going to be crashing down from the top side.
Yep. Again, speaking as a fan of the hometown team here, the MPL Mana Champions, you got to say, hey, man, if they're going to win a fight, it's going to be inside their own base. Right? They have pretty good high ground, and they're all here, but they are looking at a Lord, so that's a 5-man coalition. Kyrie's off.
Yeah. And let's keep in mind, right? They can still shut down these inhibitors. Wait, here comes the penalty zone almost instantaneously. They're trying to combo together, but they don't find anything else. The follow-up isn't there. They get rid of the inhibitor, and Team Falcons, man, look, he's so tanky. He's holding on despite that, and CW is able to find a mega kill off of it. Despite the Glacier not finding the right targets, it forces Kenji to use the ult.
Fnatic Onyx playing a little off-kilter. When you thought the measure was 4-4, they say, nah, fam, it's a 3-4, and that takes Team Falcons off tempo. They shouldn't be forcing it, but here they are looking for one.
It was so close, but the implosion only finds one. They're gonna get pulled back, but CW finds Super Kyrie already back into play. Team Falcons, they need to clear up these minions as soon as possible. Kenji almost going down in the meantime. Lark, he's the only person who actually has some decent wave clear. Even Good Night, I don't think he has enough damage just yet. Final Slash coming in from Ding to maybe look for a pick back, but it's still 4v4 for the time being. Kyrie can join at any point of time, and that means the next inhibitor shall fall for Team Falcons.
Their last bastion. No more turrets, just the base standing for Team Falcons. Can they do it? Force that Tempest of Blades!
Oh no, such an early Tempest of Blades. Kenji, he's giving so much respect over to Kyrie, but at the very least, the minion waves have been cleared up, and Team Falcons, with no inhibitors, they're going to be stuck in their base, turtling up as hard as they can.
The Sky Kings played a disciplined game here, keeping to their timing. They're going for the next objective. They want to finish this game off of an enhanced Lord, spawning about 10 seconds, unless they can find a pick, force in a brilliance from Good Night. Man, if you're talking about just the items and their firepower, Team Falcons can't take a fight, not a fair fight against Fnatic Onic.
Honestly, I think it's really coming down to the fact that they're always reacting to Fnatic Onic, right? They're going to use Fnatic Onic, they're going to use that. They're going to go for a feint, wait for you to use your abilities and punish, and that's exactly what we see. Kenji goes down, doesn't even have the timing to drop down the Tempest of Blades.
That's gotta be a play that even his teammates would question. You can see in the player cams, Kenji knows that wasn't the right call. That wasn't the right play, and he dove into 3 and 4. Paid the price for it, and Fnatic Onic secures the Lord off of that pickoff.
Yeah, he underestimated Kyrie, man. He, honestly, I think a single auto attack, he doesn't even need the special steel cables auto attack as well. He can basically one-shot Kenji.
Yep, Kenji's back in about 4. I'm not so sure, though, if this is a position that he wants to be in. Again, you're a Ling. One of your strengths is coming from any angle, coming in from a Finch Poise. There's barely any walls inside the base, so he's going to have to play this very, very carefully. And he gets spotted from top. Very close. Kyrie throws out a cable. Oh, there's a final slash.
Okay, straight away, CW is able to use the Purify. Zaman forces well, penalty zone into Good Night. They're trying to escalate the situation. He dies immediately off the Brilliance, and now the Crystal will fall. Fnatic Onic take the game, 21 kills to 7.
A clean sweep in a best of 2 by the Sky Kings. Even on home soil, Team Falcons could not make these Kings bleed. Amazing work. I don't know, Gideon, maybe it's the Savage that made game 1 all the more sweeter, but game 2 felt quick and just more violent at the same time.
I'm not gonna lie, I think Fnatic Onic really left an impression onto the Falcons in game 1, right? They weren't as confident as they were. They played very passive comps, and unfortunately, the 2 side lanes, they ended up losing, and Lunox, you can't expect her to scale that fast, so you have to play a slow game.
Not to mention the last couple of minutes where there were glaring errors. You see clearly how maybe communications could be breaking down, and maybe their minds weren't as clear or on point, and they needed to defend inside their own base, but looking at their comp now in hindsight, might not have been possible.
Yeah, I think, Coach Yeb really understood the timings of which they wanted to punish, and, Fnatic Onic, they're in a position where it's like, all right, if you want to play around timings, that's what we're good at. As long as we control that tempo, we can do whatever we want, and luckily, nobody made a mistake in the laning phase.
Big smiles, I would assume, on Coach Yeb and Coach Addy's faces. I couldn't say the same for Coach Zico and Coach Powie Byrne. Man, they worked so hard. They pulled this team out from the dregs of MPL MENA, and they gave the villains, Twisted Minds, a good beating in the finals. Again, 4-1, who would have thought? Twisted Minds spoke a big game. And Team Falcons, this team right here, that Fnatic Onic swept 2-0, have to go back to the drawing board, have to figure out, hey man, where did it go wrong? Was it the game? Was it our mental? Was it our draft? Was it our strat? I could only assume.
The 2 biggest ones, it's draft and mental for me, right? I think the mechanics, they've got it, but they need that level of confidence against in these types of international tournaments.
नज़ारा
हो गया रिश्ता आ जाना था गया वो।
Your team destroyed a turret.
The past is my momentum.
तो जाओ 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 जाओ।
Initiate retreat.
दोस्त निकलो निकलो, तुम गए। बचेगा नहीं बचेगा।
Victory takes one swing at a
Ally has
time.
been slain.
भूत जैसे ये लोग साथ में आ रहे, दिमाग खराब कर रहे हैं।
Initiate retreat.
ओ लोड, हाँ नहीं बड़ा ठीक है, बढ़िया।
अभी लोड लेगा ना।
For the Minoan blood.
वो देखो ग्लोबल काबूरा को।
Gather at the Lord.
वही तो पूरा छम छम छमा।
Inhibitor turret is
Why gonna
under
stay?
attack.
ये थंडरबोल्ट बेच देगा क्या? पूरे
Do not try my
तेरे नहीं कितना
or
प्योर डैमेज है, प्योर डैमेज। क्रिटिकल ले लेगा।
She was
Oh,
late
Marco,
and
Nico,
failed,
Nico.
and the examination hall didn't let her to
ओए
do
जाओ
it.
जाओ। चो पुश कर।
Welcome to the stream, RK.
ओह
How are you?
Attack.
जाने मत दो। चला गया। जा तुम मरेगा तो।
Ally has been slain.
कितना डैमेज है?
Guys, please like the stream, like the
Hello
stream.
Mikunda, what's up Dexter?
RK, like the
Welcome to
stream.
the stream, Dexter. Welcome.
काबूरा डबल किल था।
आ रही है क्या?
कितना आ रही है?
चॉकलेट।
मेरे साथ तो प्रोटेक्शन कार्ड
RK,
है।
welcome to the stream. No, I won't like.
क्या हो गया? हम अकेला एमवीपी ला रहे बहुत मैचेस में ना।
प्रो है ना तुम दोस्त।
Club?
काबूरा खेलेगा एक आदमी।
Where's Onyx?
कॉपीराइट मत देना, ओके? कॉपीराइट की क्या चीज का?
Onyx won,
मेरा
RK. You left when
हम
Onyx
चलेगा,
started
हम
the
मैच
game
करते हैं।
and you came back as
नहीं, वो
soon
कबूरा
as
चलेगा।
Onyx game is over.
काबूरा
Onyx won 2-0.
हम मैच करेगा, अकेला कैरी करेगा। मैच खराब होने से डायरेक्ट पूरा टीम खराब हो जाता है। एमएम से हावड़े होने से भी मैच कैरी करता है ना, आराम से कर देता है ना, 1v5 करता है ना टीम के साथ।
चोको, अरे ग्लोबल नहीं बोलेगा इसको। इतना बार देखो ना, इतना बार हम एक्सपेक्ट करो ना, इतना बार हम वहाँ पे अल्ट देखो, वो आ ही नहीं, फॉलो ही नहीं कर रहे हो, हम फॉलो बैक ही नहीं कर रहे हो, अल्ट मार रहे हो, वो आ ही नहीं रहे। एक अच्छा वाला कॉम्बो वाला चाहिए होता है ना मैच। काबूरा ग्लोबल करेगा, लोरू चला नो। उसके भी गुस्सा हो रहा होगा, कुछ बोल रहा हूँ। अच्छा हो जाने दो ना, दो ना वो एनिमी को। और रुको रुको, उसको मैच अप होने दो। I'm streaming your stream. Oh, copyright. Extra copyright mistake हो गया वो लोग इनमें से।
Go push.
अल्टी बेकार हो जाता है ना अगर मैच कॉम्बो वाला नहीं होने से।
Not today.
हो जाएगा एमएम एक्सपी।
I'll push at night, RK. I'll play with Kim and P.
कुछ ऐसा तो कभी
I'll
नहीं
play
होगा।
with them at night.
विवो का फर्स्ट प्लेसमेंट लॉस। यस।
Or I guess I'll start streaming from evening
लॉस हो गया।
after this.
कोई ना, जैसे मिठी गया वैसे ग्लोरी जाएगा। जैसे ग्लोरी जाके वैसे इमोर्टल जाएगा। हाँ।
बड़ा सा था देखो, बड़ा बड़ा इमोर्टल।
वही तो इमोर्टल के लिए तो कर रहा है दोस्त।
मैं थारे पाँव की जूती ना दिखाना पड़ेगा मेरा मैच ना। कहाँ है वेयर्स मैन? मैच हिस्ट्री यहाँ कम
68 हो गया, 70 था ना।
मेरा कम हो गया। कर लेगा। हाँ होगा।
वो स्पी ये बोल रहा है डेक्स्टर रुको डेक्स्टर का चैनल लिखिएगा चुप करो क्या हो गया चौधरी डेक्स्टर मेरा स्ट्रीम को कर रहा हो रहा था क्या ये डेक्स्टर का
Please ban a hero.
प्लीज बैन अ हीरो क्या बैन करेगा एंजेला की बैन की रोजर करेगा क्या
रोजर हाँ मार दो
The enemy is picking.
खाया बनाना
राइजल राइजल वो देना स्टिक है
नहीं, I'm just waiting for the match to start. The next match will start in like 10 minutes, na? That's why I'm waiting.
राइजल नोब्रा वही तो एलिजिबल है
Match will start in 10 minutes.
राइजल नोब्रा है ना
Your team is picking.
चलो राइजल
क्या
वो शो करो
We'll find a way.
So I'm just
क्या
waiting.
देगा
All is forlorn.
Instead of
We know
watching
it,
them talk,
right?
I'm just watching his stream
नहीं क्लीन दे देगा
because they're
Clean
only
did it.
talking,
Come on.
nothing else.
Chivalry is dead, and
The
I
enemy
will
is
revive
picking.
it.
ऊपर नहीं कोई नहीं दिखाता है
तेरे जीजा जी बोल रहा
मोटा
था
मोटा हाँ जीजन
Don't wait.
जीजू
What
जी
don't wait? How can I not wait? Like they're talking now, so I have to wait.
Akai hyper
To make friends
bro
with Nana?
नहीं
I shall be your
pick a
eternal
hero.
nightmare.
ये मजाक है क्या अकेला कैरी करेगा अभी
10 years of
Wait,
imprisonment.
ना मतलब
क्या देगा
हाँ
क्या जाएगा
हर चीज जाओ हर चीज
डिगी बोल रहा है जाएगा डिगी
जाओ मेरा साथ वो है एक ही नहीं से
Horology is my craft.
The enemy
Diggy is my name.
चलो डिगी जा देते हैं ना यो वो सब नाना एप्पल जमील हाय अंकल व्हाट्स अप जमील वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम एप्पल नाना मिथुन मीट खिलाओ नाना मिथुन नहीं खाते हो
Some stitches? I can help.
नाना मेरा दिमाग खाते हैं आई मीन नहीं सॉरी नाना मांसो खाते हैं मेरा नाक खराब हो रहा है ओ भाई 76% विन रेट कभी होगा नहीं मेरा जिंदगी में 70 प्लस
I hate waiting. अच्छा, you won't even wait for me. You waited for me, na? RK. Did you hate
चुप
that
रहो
too?
साला नाना जाए से मजाक करी से तो मजा ए नाना
You hated waiting for me too, huh? Huh?
मजाक
RK?
करी से मजाक मजाक
Nice.
नाना
Now
जी
understood.
ऐसे मर लेजी बॉय सिंगू का ऐसे मर देगा हमेशा बेइज्जती करते हैं हमें नहीं बेइज्जती नहीं कर रहा वो इट्स नॉट बेइज्जती इट्स लव यू नो
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
हमें
ओए।
वही तो नाना मत जाओ
See MSC fast. वाह, Apple Zamir, वाह. देखो. Watch.
Apex 47 emerges as well. What was that deadly catch? What was that damage? And now TNC hoping that he'll be able to run away. He will not. But the Lord was taken by Fireflux in the end, so that is a little bit of consolation. But unfortunately, there's only Rosa available to defend
I won't wait
against
for
this
you anymore. Come back
lane
fast.
raid. Will Rosa be able to stay alive long enough though?
I don't think they can keep this alive, unfortunately.
Welcome to stream, Apple.
But oh wait, he did manage to get that kill. And even for the Lord, he's going to be bursted down almost immediately. Alien and Apex 47, they are going to be back here in the Land of Dawn. And NIP Flash understands that this is as far as they can go. Taking the inhibitor in the mid, that's all they want.
I don't like the group B.
Net gain from a Lord.
The group A
but you lose
production is nice. Group B is not that good.
Because Diablo is going to clean it up in a flash as well. NIP Flash almost 3k a hit. Definitely not the big lead just in like game 1. In fact, top tier 2 eventually did go down. Diablo didn't have enough damage to clear it out.
Oh
but Vanix, my goodness.
Oh!
He is online, this man.
What items? My goodness. We don't see Mage Bane all that much. So honestly, having to see him on the stage right now and the massive amount of damage that he's able to deal to the rest of the members from Fireflux, that's definitely very scary to see.
No blue team.
Incredibly scary, in fact.
Fireflux.
Getting a bit of control of the game already, and the fact that mid inhibits down is a big deal for Fireflux Esports. Now, the side lanes are going to be a lot more threatened. Top tier 2 goes down. The conceal from Fireflux not bearing any fruits. Rosa just got the blood wings.
I'm thinking about one of the new item change, Stealing Time. Would that actually make any sense for Vanix to pick up? Because we know that Daily Catch is pretty not scary after all. But for now, Katizi with the feathered airstrike did manage to get a kill down onto Rosa. That is one of the main core players from the side of Fireflux Esports that's taken down. The second core player, TNZ, is also down. But it is not all sunshine and rainbows for NIP Flash, and it is a 2-for-2 trade after all.
I have to check.
I gotta say, the magic burst
JBL catching down on the Apex 47, but I don't think that they have enough damage for all of that at all. He immediately Jikundo, or rather, Shumpo himself out of that. Sunshine looking to get the final kill on the JBL, but the main fight was actually onto Vanix because he focuses down onto Alien, brings him down, and the zoning wasn't able to do much. But Apex 47, oh, big wild charge coming in, being able to ensure that JBL and Katizi goes down, leaving Vanix all alone. Apex 47, the man.
Absolutely savior, Apex 47. Literally saved this team. NIP Flash did not expect him to still be in that bush. And this not only kind of balances out the skill, Fireflux Esports, but also opens up Lord possibilities for them.
Oh boy, 14:16. Let's look at things in the grand skill, and the grand scheme of things. We have
Kim, are you watching the stream?
One Lord that's taken by the hands of Fireflux and one Lord taken by the hands of NIP Flash. But this is quite literally what we want to see from Fireflux. All the adaptability that we were talking about. Apex 47 going in with that wild charge. Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Even Apex 47 just got the immortality. So second life, the second Lord granted to Fireflux Esports. Once NIP Flash, they gotta kind of look out a little bit, right? Like you have better airstrike, you have a lot of damage, sure, but all your damage dealers are pretty fragile. Like if TNZ gets his hands on you, if Sunshine gets on top of you, if you get crowd control by Alien and Apex, a lot of things to consider for NIP Flash. You can't just go for the cookie cutter play of I pull someone in with the I'm offended and hope to burst them down without any repercussions. It just does not work like that.
In the meantime, as the Lord postures itself up in the top lane, the rest of the members from Fireflux focuses onto the middle lane because that's the only tier 1 that's available. In the meantime, we do have the wild charge coming from Apex 47, but the Crown did manage to make sure that Vanix is going to be A-okay for now. Diablo walks away with not a lot of help to work with, but never mind, because NIP Flash, they did manage to take quite a lot of ultimates away from Fireflux. In fact, 4 ultimates. While NIP Flash, they still have quite a bit to work with. Most importantly, the Way of the Dragon.
Yeah, the fact that Vanix saw particular incoming gang and instantly Winter Crown before the wild charge was even remotely close to him. Him staying alive is very crucial because he's one of the main damage dealers that's going to help deep push the lane. And look at that.
Oh,
Lord JPL.
Flickers out, but TNZ, he did manage to ensure that JPL is taken down for now, as now we're just going to be looking at Alien, just going to be connecting down onto the rest. Diablo and Vanix is just going to go back for a tad a little bit. They did manage to bring Apex 47 down. Sunshine, before backing off completely, he manages to take away the inhibitor turret in the top lane, but Katizi with a feathered airstrike, flickers on forward to do additional damage over to the side of Harif, but now the Winter Crown connects down onto Sunshine, but unfortunately it will only keep himself alive for a tad a bit longer, but he still goes down in the end.
I think NIP Flash will push.
What a call from NIP Flash. Katizi committing his flicker to cover more ground with the feather airstrike, telling his team that guys, we can go, we can beat them. Takes out Sunshine and Alien in the process, as they did not have the battle spells or did not have the resources left. NIP Flash clapping back, both teams losing an inhibitor. I don't think NIP Flash can end the game, but they can definitely do some serious damage.
At least try indeed. Tempest of Blaze is going to be used. We do have the deadly catch that unfortunately did not manage to connect on anyone. They're just going to be focusing down, but unfortunately that is going to be the wall charge that's going to be connecting on the main front lines. As such, Hades is going to be taking down Terrify on the Diablo as well as Vanix. But now the Winter Crown just going to be used from the side of Diablo, only leaving him alive for a tad a little bit longer. Katizi hoping that he'll be able to stay alive. He pops in himself his own Winter Crown, but that pulled Alien backwards just so that both Vanix as well as JPL will stay alive a little bit longer. It's time for Firefox to clap back.
Critical mistake from NIP Flash. I'm not really sure what the calls were, but that definitely was not an endgame angle. Now with Rosa around, the Terrified crowd control. Oh, so important to stop NIP Flash from dealing more damage. They try to kind of blitzkrieg the Crystal, but end up giving up their life, and even worse, but end up giving up this Lord as well.
It's unfortunate for sure. The greediness from NIP Flash thinking that they can really end the core like that. Didn't really quite. I'm pretty sure that they expected Apex 47 with that wall charge, but probably not exactly that well prepared for it. As such, losing so much out of all of that, this is definitely a really tough pill for NIP Flash to swallow, as the Lord, the 18-minute Lord, will now be granted over to Fireflux to fight for their cause.
Yeah, the third Lord of the game for Fireflux. So far, all the Lords were uncontested. NIP Flash, they know that they had to give it away and just play it from behind. And this is the opportunity for Fireflux to potentially crack open the entire base of NIP Flash or even look for an endgame angle. JPL needs to catch up his life.
We're just waiting for that perfect opportunity. But even if JPL did manage to go for the catch, the question is always if whether Vanix will be able to burst that one person down, or if Katizi will specially use his feathered airstrike just for that one-man catch. But looks like the answer is to use the feathered airstrike to wave clear in the middle lane as they prepare themselves for the Lord to push up in the top lane and the Mega Creeps down at the bottom. This is definitely a lot tougher for them to even recover from.
Staggered wave as well, so NIP Flash.
That from Diablo. They did manage to connect down to the two-person, but they didn't really want to go all in for that. NIP Flash playing things a little bit slowly to ensure that they bring down the Lord nice and just pretty much just going out for that. In the meantime, Katizi is just going to be popping out with the Feather Airstrike while Alien pops off with the Black Dragon form. Boops away that ultimate from the side of Katizi, but unfortunately out of all of that, Fireflux did lose TNZ and NIP Flash is just going to be running it down onto Alien, as now JPL manages to land the way of the dragon right on top of him. I don't think that they will be able to connect anymore from this point onwards. So NIP Flash, they're just going to be running in middle lane without Alien and TNZ. This might be the chance that they are looking out for.
That could be the second win. Can Rosa do it again? Just slowly, I'm offended.
It needs to be a big catch. It needs to be big, but now the deadly catch is just going to be tossed right out. Rosa did manage to connect on quite a lot by Hades. He focuses on the core. NIP Flash clinches a 2-0 victory away from Fireflux Esports, the dream team of Turkey.
Unprecedented performance from NIP Flash. Game 1 was dominant, Game 2 was scrappy, but at the end of the day, Fireflux, despite the lead that they got, despite being gifted 3 Lords, they just got a bit too anxious at the very end, committing everything to try and take the mid inhibitor down and end up getting not just nothing, but losing the game. NIP Flash keeping their composure at the very end. This game Definitely a lot closer compared to game number 1, but I gotta say, NIP Flash left the mark on
At
the
least
stage
this
today.
game really showed us what Fireflux Esports is made of. Not that easy to be bullied by NIP Flash, because game 1, yeah, we can just kind of say that it's not a good game for Fireflux Esports, but game number 2 definitely showed so much more promise. That back and forth situation coming in from these two teams definitely made that game such a nail-biting experience, and I gotta have to say, indeed, what a show coming in from Fireflux and NIP Flash.
Yeah, so definitely, you know, I don't think any series can top what we had between Falcons Esports and Cloud9, but this is a close second as well. The relief on the faces of the NIP Flash's players, I think this is definitely kind of a new heights achieved by the Singaporean team, right? A 2-0 to start off the group stage, and that can only mean that they are ever so closer to that playoff slot. They will put, at least it will put Singapore on the map as well, right? When was the last time that the region has been able to reach a top 8? I think it's been quite a while.
Quite a while indeed. And I just gotta have to say that they show.
Kind of
Isn't that a roller coaster?
Well. What, the Twisted Express?
Yeah, isn't the Twisted Express technically a roller coaster?
See, the stream quality and production is so good.
That's a lie.
You know what? If you're Nana and you don't know what a roller coaster is, you really need to touch grass, man. You got to go outside.
Yeah, I've been planting some weeds in our backyard.
Touching grass.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
At least I know that you're seeing the sun. That's all there is to it. But yeah. Twisted Express.
Twisted Express.
Twisted Express. Okay, so they gotta give Liquid Echo an experience, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel is going to be an experience that we'll be watching as well, because you got an update from Group B where NIP Flash won.
Oh yeah, NIP Flash was able to take the game number 1 up against Fireflux, and that in itself is already, an underdog victory. I think most of us predicted Evos and Fireflux to top that group. No, not you.
Not me.
Who did you predict to top that group?
Actually, you know who I think about. But either way, shout outs to Stream B as well. Shout outs to everyone watching Stream A and Stream B. You guys are amazing.
I actually expected NIP Flash and Fireflux to top Group A. I mean, I know that Evil's...
No. You can say what you want. Your opinion matters, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to shut you down. Like, Mirko, on the other hand, he might... Dude, Mirko, let the man have his opinion, okay?
I'm not doing anything, man.
I love Evil's Glory, dude. They have a great coach, great staff.
Yeah.
Great players.
You're a great coach.
3 of their players/staff
was.
Oh
no, you weren't even a coach. You were an analyst.
Okay. You know what? Let's listen. Leo is listening. All right.
Okay.
Is he?
He still doesn't know. Okay. Don't ruin the surprise.
Yeah. Why? What does he not know?
Leo's been looking for this one guy.
Okay.
That's his whole arc.
Okay.
And he can't find him.
Okay.
And until
sometimes
how does that relate to me? Why are you talking about that?
Because you know the guy.
No, because you know Leo.
I know Leo.
Leo, exactly.
I know who he's looking for, but so what? I mean, I cannot reveal to him who that guy is.
Either way, just saying you're an amazing coach. I love you, man. Like out of all the friends that I have, you're like top 30.
Top 30.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great honor. I take it.
Mirko, you're like top 31.
Oh man, top 31. Wait, do you have like a? Like, is it also the opposite? Top 31. That means 31 is like higher than all the.
No. The thing is, I put all of them in the shoebox.
Okay.
And I pulled it on one by one.
So that's why I'm not
Alright.
Gideon's number 5.
Gideon's number 5. Where is it?
That's why I
Where's
gave
it?
my.
Eterna. Not part of it.
After what
I
happened
don't have
yesterday?
proper mic.
Not part of it.
During
I'm
dinner?
not at home.
She
I don't
bumped up.
have proper mic.
Oh, okay. So it's at what, 40 now or
29.
Oh wow. Okay.
So 31.
That's
30. 29.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm saying
Wow.
I'm in my holiday mood.
Okay.
Holiday. That's why I'm not.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if people want to see us again just to see what we're doing.
Yeah.
And let me just say, as you guys see us here right now,
Perfect normal.
we haven't done anything.
I bring more updates for you guys, by the way.
Okay, what's your next update?
What's your next update?
So remember how Nip Flash were able to take game number 1 against Fireflux?
That's right.
They were able to get both games. Now game number 2 as well, NIP Flash, they swept through Fireflux.
You know what? I'm so shocked. Look at me. Like, I'm so shocked to the fact that I feel like we got to go to an interview. So somebody save me. Yella.
Hi guys, it's Eterna here, and it looks like we are at the player lounge. So we're gonna take a look. Wait, guys, do you see what I'm seeing? Boston, is that you?
Oh, hello. Hi there.
Sweet.
Wow, it's so good to finally meet you, and you're finally here as well. How has it been so far, day number 1 of MSC?
It's
Hello. I guess now you can hear me. Okay, चलो यार sleep भाई always भाई ठीक है मार्क हमेशा ये sleep करने आता है ना यहाँ पे I'll sleep not support no zero support only sleeping जी मार्क no shame this guy साला It's my mic issue, guys. Mic issue. I can't do anything.
For support, morale support.
first, the next game will be super important for team spirit, and I can say Savo outmined them. Kid Bomba blow them up, and Sunset Lover Satoru Gojo them. Go team spirit and make it.
Make it
Free का पैसा नहीं मिलता है ठीक है मार्क ताना मत दे ठीक है ना
your time as well. It's been great, but we are going to go sending it back over to the studio. So thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Boston. And we got to do what Sao has to do. We're going to outmind them. You know, I love this camera. This camera can move around, so we can move around. Like I could go to you guys.
We are just following your flow, right? If you want to walk around, you can walk around, man. And if you tell us to walk around, we'll walk around, man.
So if I say we're going for a break, I can do that?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? I'm gonna test out my power. Let's see. We're going for a break.
Wait, really?
Small tweak.
لحظات البداية عاشت معنا. كنا نحسبها وقت للتسلية بس. نحسبها بس ذكريات.
عبود أعطي أختك اليد يا ولد.
ابتكرنا فيها ابتكارات، وإذا بغينا قلبناها خرافات. كنا نحسبها بس لمة وصحبة وسهرات.
انتبه نوب ترى نوب.
لكن كنا نشوف عالم ما حد يشوفه.
ليت يشغل وقته بشيء يفيده.
عالم كبر وعاش فينا. عالم الحماس فيه يوصلك كل مرة لحلم أصعب، بس ما يصعب عليك. بارد معك وين ما تروح.
I did not thought that would work. I legit did not thought that would work. Do you guys think they're giving me too much power?
I think so, man. They need to take a little bit more of. They need to take all your power away.
Yeah.
We can't have you to be doing that, man.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to, they can't do that. I still have my meds.
Well, still no.
The question is, do I have power without my meds? I probably do. You know what? For all of you guys at home, every one of you has some kind of power.
Yeah, you can
guys
fly.
have- you can literally fly. Now we're literally in the pick and ban phase. Team Liquid PH is going to be the first pick. Twisted Minds is going to be second pick. Faramis instantly banned out.
Is this another blitz draft coming out from TLPH? No, for sure that could be, well, the case. Faramis is going to be the first ban. This tells me a lot of stuff, like the Roger to be the priority here for TLPH.
All right, firstly for me though, they've opted to go for Hoda instead of Tarzan in the lineup for Twisted Minds. This is actually the full lineup. This is the main lineup for Twisted Minds, but mid-series in the grand finals, they actually swapped out Hoda for Tarzan. So that's something that they could go for as well later on in game number 2. But again, on the red side, you're kind of already forced to go for the chip ban, maybe even the Lo Yi, considering how good Sanji is. I think Sanji should know how good Sanji is.
Yeah.
Because Sanji knows Sanji.
Because again, Sanji could chase after Sanji. If Sanji picks up a Yuzong and Sanji goes up against Sanji using the Lu Yi, Sanji might win that.
If Sanji goes with the Valentina up against Sanji on the Yuzong, then the Black Dragon form could be used by Sanji and Sanji.
Wait, is the Valentina EXP or mid, and is the Yuzong EXP or mid?
That's the beauty of it. We find out.
There was a time where Valentina was actually played in the side lane. So
The gold lane, right?
There was a time that Valentina played in the jungle as well.
And the XP.
And the XP. You know what? Valentina, we even seen Valentina roam.
That's right. That could be.
So who's? Oh, Sanji. Who's using the Yuzong again? Sanford. That's right.
Sanford.
So they ban out the Yuzong.
Yep.
This is gonna
definitely a special. I think this, just the way that we're looking at the draft, very high chance that Lu Yi will be banned out here, coming up from the Twisted Minds, and then again Roger should be the priority here for TLPH.
Can we ask our casters, especially the one doing play-by-play, whenever you guys are saying Sanji, can you be specific?
Yeah. Like, so Sanji, I think Sanji is all caps in Twisted Minds, I believe.
But
so he has to yell? Is that
yeah,
it?
Sanji!
Exactly.
And then when TLPH makes a play, like, Sanji!
Yeah. Oh, there's Lu Yi, first pick.
And
immediate Roger and probably an Arlet here.
Oh, they picked up the Minotaur. And again, the Minotaur is an amazing pick no matter what situation.
So Minotaur and
Roger.
Roger.
Exactly. Having the bull and the werewolf.
Yeah.
That's true. You know, a lot of reactivity with the Minotaur as well if you want to go and counter some dives.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with the Lo Yi, you're very, very creative with your dives. You can go for different angles. And as usual, as we saw as well in the grand finals, the Baksha was a great contributor to the success that they were able to found. So it's going to be the Baksha plus the Arlet. This is also a combo that you can utilize with the Lo Yi really, really well.
Exactly. We see Arlet and Lu Yi very good at just setting up the plays. Baksha is here that can catch up. And just can really explore the map. Decent versus the Minotaur because of the sustain now. Twisted Minds might go for a Vexana here so that they can answer the Lu Yi. Or perhaps a Novaria.
Oh, Novaria. Yeah, I like Novaria a little bit better.
Not MLBB, like anime statues. I don't know about MLBB statues.
Scouting and obviously winning or equalizing the mid lane. So, they went in for the Farsa instead. So it's all about like transforming here for Twisted Minds. Had they gotten the Yuzhong, they're all transformers.
I think that's the wrong franchise, but you
like
know
the Roger has the skin with that, right? But the
you're right,
Minotaur and the Farsa not really. But I get what you mean.
Farsa transforms into a bird.
Exactly. But you know, it's not
Wait. It's because here's the thing. The bird is Farsa's husband. Though,
exactly.
Right?
So technically,
the bird is
you
her
transform. We need to ask Lord Leo.
Yeah, Lord Leo. Yeah. So he's got a lot of things on his plate later after this. Okay, so you ban out.
Said you
ban
don't
the
even know
Marksman
how
here,
to
Carrier,
address and so
Moskov
now
and Cloud.
don't tell me to
Looks
order
to be
something for you.
maybe they're not that concerned about the club because
No,
they have
I
the
think
Minotaur.
Something in me tells me
Masha.
Great band.
Benny Cutie wants to pick up the
Carry?
No, because he's been picking this quite a lot, which is the Beatrix as well.
Yep.
He's been using it in a lot of different tournaments.
Versus Farsa versus the Roger. It's gonna be good.
I like this Farsa band, the Masha band, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense versus the Farsa and the Roger.
Yeah, the thing is with the Roger, it's very, very difficult to go for any defensive item to go up against this Masha. Usually you want to go for Wind of Nature, and usually if you have a normal marksman, that's the easiest answer. But on the Roger, you get that, you don't get the full duration of the Wind of Nature, so it's a bit hard to go for the counter. Technically you can go Winter Crown, but it's a bit tough to pull off as well. So
But it looks cool.
It does look cool, right?
Transformation, Winter Crown, that looks cool.
And then you freeze on air, yeah.
Afterwards.
And then the Claude ban as expected, right? Up against this composition.
I'll tell you
You can
afterwards.
dive into the back. You can play very safe in the gold lane as well. But 2 XP bans just to set up for the Arlet.
Yep, CC. Which is interesting because it's CC Roger is like very difficult to pull off because of how much farm you need. But yeah, they're gonna be banning it out. Twisted Minds. If they show their jungler right now, it will not be good because that means that Team Liquid will be able to answer that. So I think this will be an EXP lane pickup. Assuming that the Terza as well as the CC is banned out, you're left with what? Pakiro and Benedetta for Twisted Minds.
How's the Lapu Lapu right now?
Lapu Lapu is a very, I would say it's a very conditional pick that you use when there's a Faramis, exclusively when there's Faramis and / or the Moskov so that you can dive into the backlines.
Because for Twisted Minds, right? Is
Okay,
the X-Borg?
I think you go Beatrix now for
No,
the
not now.
TLPH. And then you put the Arlet in the Rome and then pick up an X-Borg and answer to the X-Borg. So that usually
the Pakiro is still open.
Is Pakiro good against X-Borg? Not so
It is in XP. But the thing is, I feel like for Twisted Minds, they can actually go and twist Liquid Echo's minds right now with the X-Borg and the Roger. Because with the X-Borg, it can still go to the jungle. The Roger can still go to the gold lane, and they can try to play around that to just counter the Baksha.
Yeah.
But now that the Arlet has been revealed to go towards the XP, maybe they just put the X-Borg in the XP, put the Roger in the jungle, and then pick up another gold lane. They would bully the Moskov.
What can bully the Moskov? I think
Beatrix?
Beatrix will be the best. I think they might just put the
Install Zomato.
Roger, the gold lane.
Install
in the
Zomato.
jungle, then pick up something along the lines of a Ruby because the idea here is that you're facing up against Louis. So you don't want to really like overdo your gold lane. You don't want to farm dependent gold lane because the thing is that Louis will just be able to take over.
Oh, Fanny.
Okay. Against the Moskov.
I mean,
the Moskov is traditionally a counter to the Fanny.
I guess.
And this is Florid, dude. I don't like this at all. I'm just saying.
I mean, here's the thing. Even though you don't like it, it
Then
looks
log in
spicy.
via my
When it's
number.
Spicy. We gotta throw it over to our casters.
Log in via my number.
Just to address the inquiry, Farsa indeed turns into mist, riding Vari's wings. That's why it's called Wings by Wings. Welcome to Desk at your service. My name is Leo. Here with Gideon, bringing you this first matchup between Twisted Minds and Liquid Echo.
Look, this match is going to be interesting, right? I agree with Wolf. I think that, Fanny, and especially when you're looking at the composition from TLPH, unless this Fanny gets an incredible snowball, I don't see it happening. But maybe towards the later stages of the game, do we see it really even out?
Yep, on a lane-per-lane basis, Liquid Echo seems to have trumped Twisted Minds, but maybe the Twisted Express could pull a turn that even the Echo Express haven't seen before. Again, welcome them into their home court. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 1 in the best of 2. I can't start this matchup without saying Team Liquid PH. are one of the tournament favorites. Like that's just the stakes we're looking at right now.
Yeah, it's just facts. It's just facts. Especially when they're coming from one of the strongest regions so far in the world until somebody knocks them off. I think it's fair to say that they've got a pretty decent chance in these groups, and more importantly so, I would like to see whether Twisted Minds, especially in the earlier stages of the game, because that's what they were known for previously, before the 2-minute debuff.
Yep, speed is what Twisted Minds have on their side, and if there's anything I like about that draft, because I do echo Wolf in the fact that I don't like the Fanny, but I like the switch up. I like putting the Roger into the gold lane, but maybe not.
So which do you support now? I support blue team Echo.
JP, but as a floor, like you gotta get used to this kind of thing.
I mean, that's how JP likes to be handled, right? Everything is his fault. If he goes down, it's gonna be his fault. If they win, it's also gonna be his fault.
Who is he without adversity, right? Truly. He's been living with adversity all his life, and now he's just taking care of the team. Look at this. Look at how comfortable Liquid Echo are. Carl Teasy going for an early green. A stolen small camp from Hoda while he's getting to a small camp of his own. I can't wait to see the XP difference.
Yep. I mean, so far, it's going to be very small for the time being, and eventually, it's going to come to a point where we do see these teams actually start clashing around the turtles. I think it's pretty inevitable that Fanny probably wants to, like, calm down on first turtle, probably second turtles when we expect to see these fights really break out.
I wouldn't even question maybe even third.
Third?
Yeah, because we've seen Fannies do this. We've seen even Lings do this, where they would, what's the word I'm looking for? Rubber band into a lead, you know what I mean? Like once they get their second core item and then their roamer and their XP laner are able to find a good initiation, they just come clean house.
Yeah, no, I like the term a lot, rubber banding, right? Because I think it's one of these, especially in a game like this, you're expecting both of these teams to be one to take the lead and then eventually no resources. The other team takes the lead and control over the map. The constant back and forth, that's what we need to see because again, both of these teams are very ult dependent. Maybe not so much for Liquid Echo. Maybe they can find these flanks once in a while, but traditionally, Twisted Minds, they need to play that front to back. And maybe, just maybe, if that Fanny can find a good pick onto, hopefully, Sanji, they have an opportunity.
Best case scenario, they find Sanji, maybe even cut the nip at the bud, maybe give Benny Cutie a good piece of their mind, right? And to be able to do that, I think there's a lot on the shoulders of the young Sanji, and I'm talking about the Sanji with two eyes. That's Twisted Minds Sanji, the X-Borg, because he can act as both a hard stop against Liquid Echo's fast-paced game, because again, they are the aggressors. They should be the aggressors because they're looking at a Fanny, which they counter all day long. And if Sanji can do that, and then flip the switch when the rest of the team says, all right, we're ready to go, then they can go. So that's where the pivot is at. That's where, that is the fulcrum, I think. That's the term we're looking for. The fulcrum of their Rube Goldberg machine that is this burst lineup.
Oh man, this terminology. How many people are picking up their physics books like, I wish I learned this better? Most people aren't going to catch that, but I get exactly what you mean. And I think that if this is on the assumption that Sanji is actually able to walk out of this lane for free, right? And if he does, at least then Twisted Minds have a potential out during the neutral objectives, because at least he can start melting down Carl TZ more effectively than the rest of his team. But so far, lead for Carl TZ, a full level ahead. Oh wait, hold on, he's catching up pretty quick too.
That's right. Folks, you were not confused. The game UI did just catch up, and we are working on things as we go. Turtle already up. It's Twisted Minds first of the scene, but it looks like Liquid Echo are able to answer back.
Yep, jumping in for their airstrike as well as zone them out. Noam Fury already catching two, and that's going to be Carl TZ securing the first turtle of the game. They walk away, and all that's left is just dust, no kills, and a couple of flickers.
How uncanny. This is incorrect. Oh, I was about to say 40. Come on. I was about to say that was very uncharacteristic of both teams who have the nickname Express. You would assume that there would be bloodshed, but Sanford just came and said, Kuya Leo, I got you.
Yeah, he's just like, don't worry, I'm gonna make a play right here, right now, just for your entertainment. But as we can see, Sano finally building up towards that Sky Piercer. He needs to find a lead in this lane somehow, and man, Liquid Echo keep on doing this. Every single tournament, I see Benny QT playing on that Moskov. He tries to steal away buffs with the Spear of Destruction.
Yep, almost hit it too.
Yeah,
almost hit it too, if not for Hoda actually getting there maybe 2 or 3 seconds faster. Now down bottom, again, happy to see that Sanji is struggling, but keeping it down. All right, if anybody could die and anybody could afford to sandbag their body for his team, it would be Sanji on this X-Borg. Looking at the XP gains again, this is what Kaltizi got away with, that small steal. Oh no!
But speaking of small steal, Hoda is able to get on out of it. No one Fury's buying just enough time for Cuffin to really get the damage down. TL, PH, they gotta be careful here. Sanji, this is starting to take a little too long here. He's gonna get some true damage onto Kaltizi, and there's not gonna be a lot for him to do. He's gonna be popping the ult as well as Sanford is zoning down 3 people in the back line, and Kaltizi's shield unity is out of there like nothing ever happened. Sanji will end up falling. He's almost there. There goes Sanji as well. Oh, so close. Sanford will die as a trade, but worthwhile. So very worthwhile as Benny QT is part of the mix as well. Troll in the middle of it, Feather Airstrike once again, and it looks like they've overstayed their welcome. The heal from JP is looking good, but Benny QT, good movement. He flickers away on top of the dash, and Troll jumps in forward. They're not letting him get away for free. This is now a pure, honest bloodbath.
2 fronts, 2 casualties, too early for Liquid Echo to have tried to pick a fight like that against Twisted Minds. They should have known better, and now the fight continues.
Sanford, he's in so much trouble. He's definitely gonna die here, right? We question it as he's still alive, and finally we do see him still make it out every single time. These players are just cheating death to an unreal degree.
Sanji tried to put his head on a swivel, and I'm talking about that X-Borg, but it could only angle itself way too much. Maybe 1 more second underneath the fire missiles, Sanford would have fallen. But you could only commit so much. Close call. Twisted Minds could not punish Liquid Echo for that overextension, and the Filipino squad walks away with another free turtle up top.
Great flank, Sano. He's trying to get on out of there, but Sanji, he's still able to find, but Yoda able to find JP in the process. Okay, at least they find the trade. But no, Sanji says, 1 more for me. Flickers forward to make another play.
The lone stallion able to make the most out of a messy situation. Down bottom, Kaltizi trying to stop Sanji from pushing down on that tier 1. Forces out a last insanity, and he's not having any of it. Come on down. Oh, just puts up the recall. Now here comes 40.
Yep. I mean, this is, you can see Kaltizi, as much as he is the GOAT and will always be a GOAT in my heart, he is still willing to be like, hey, brother, eat.
Sanford, this is for you. A year ago, that's what he said on the mic. He said, I don't want the kills anymore, man. I want the most damage taken and the most assists. This is the path I'm taking.
Oh, the path is looking good, but it doesn't mean that Twisted Minds are completely out of this just yet, right? It's 6-5. Yes, probably they are missing a couple more towers, but at this point of time, we're waiting for that power spike to actually happen for Twisted Minds. Specifically, Cuffin, he's 3-0-1. He's scaling a lot faster, but, I mean, Sanji, he's quickly catching up.
Uh-oh. We're talking about Sanji from Liquid Echo. That's right. Sanji from Twisted Minds is actually working hard, man. He's pulling doubles. Hoda able to secure his orange. And now in mid. Again, that's the reason why mid lane tier 1 is still standing. Is because of how Cuffin is able to protect it. And not to mention Troll. Troll, did you know that Troll has a PhD?
Does he?
Troll is in school for medicine, man. Oh,
no! All that medicine won't bring Cuffin back in the time for this. Good play from Liquid Echo, collapsing on the opportunity, as once again they're going to dive Sano underneath this tier 1. No opportunities for you as Benny QT picks up the kill.
Sano just got used to the gold lane, and Hoda gets a good amount of SOD. And now Benny QT catches him with a solo kill. Nothing can stop the Typhoon.
Oh my goodness. He was caught slacking. He was caught slacking. Nobody said anything about the spear flying across the map. And it's not over just yet, because now with this mid-tier 1 collapsing, Liquid Echo can finally play the game that they want to play.
That's right. The cavalry will now circle around the brain. Just right there, smack dab in the middle of the map. Again, a replay here from a different angle, as you can see. In slow motion too, just so that you can really
calculate the numbers.
Savor the moment that Benny Cutie caught Hoda, and this is the reason why, folks. Our analysts said Moskov is a clear counter to the Fanny. A single stun against the wall, and then maybe 2 or 3 hits from the spears. Just Bob's your uncle, just lay down and take it.
It's tough, right? Because it's not like the steel cables can like curve in many different directions.
Nope.
It's very, very linear,
This ain't
especially if
wanted.
you're throwing
This is
one
real
at a
life.
time, right?
This is real life. It's not wanted.
It's not wanted. It's true. It's true. With Liquid Echo now, with a 4-kill lead, 9-5 against Twisted Minds. At this point, Twisted Minds really have to consider and really pick and choose some of these fights. Because again, if they go on Sanford, Sanford can buy so much time on this Arlet. If they go for Sanji, well, you can expect that Carl TZ as well as JP are pretty close by.
Yep, and maybe after watching enough Liquid Echo over the past few years, just take what you can, man. Beat down on Carl TZ while he's giving himself to you. Because sometimes that's where the value comes from. And don't expose yourself. Those are some wise words for Twisted Minds right now. Don't contest the Lord. But it looks like, yeah, that's the call. They should just let it go.
I mean, they have to, right?
Like Elsa.
Unless they've got some crazy play to do it, because Hoda currently, he is, oh my goodness, 3 levels down. Oh, he's catching back up. Okay, so 2 levels down onto Carl TZ. That's not what you want to see in your jungler,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
no. He has to play the side lanes, split push it. Just go ahead, split it up like an acrobat. Check it out now. Where are we? Huh. This is tough. Sanji has to make a decision now. Does he go straight for the Kiras? I think he's going to go for the Kiras.
Yeah.
Go straight for the Kiras and then Immortality.
I feel like he kind of has to, right? At this point in time, you're already so far behind. Even if you get an Immortality, it's going to break almost instantaneously.
It's just extra lives. You become a bullet sponge.
He's already taken so many bullets, but now Benny QZ trying to outplay the situation by himself! Single-handedly turning it around! JP supporting him, and Benny only knows how to move forward! So nasty. Kills Sano, no problem, in the middle of his teammates.
Usually it's the Moskov that is the prey to the Roger. But nay, says Benny Cutie. You're right. It's push-forward combat for Benny Cutie. He's playing Doom Eternal, man.
He's playing a completely separate game right now. And not to mention that he's scaled up phenomenally in this. JP, honestly, just pass it in bloom. It's like, you do your thing, I'll keep you alive.
Yep, and now they are threatening a penetration. Mid has a wave in. Top has a big wave in. Lord still standing. Feathered Airstrike coming in and a final slash.
It's good, but now the backline is getting attacked as well. Zoned out, Sanji loses his Faraga armor.
Anyone
They're still
watching
trying
the
to
stream?
Oh, the bird almost catches him!
No one is
So very
watching the
close,
stream.
but they at least defend the base at the cost of 1 inhib.
It's just Troll who falls as well. So 1 inhib, 1 hero, 1 dream. Survive. Don't die here. Now they're coming in.
Oh no! Tuffin, he's got him in the back, and now they're all forced to go away. Sano finds the return to shut down onto Sanji's. Benny QT takes out Sano as well. It's going to be a 3v4 situation as Oda, he's trying his best, recharging that energy to keep them at bay.
And there's not much on Hoda, man. You saw one of the spears trace him. It's very difficult to play what Twisted Minds wanted to play now, 12 minutes in, wherein you should have seen this lineup do better at 2.
Yeah.
That's where it started. That's where it should have begun.
It could have been better, but at the same time, can you really blame them? At this point, it feels like Liquid Echo is just trying to out-micro them, trying to tell them, like, hey, you stay in your place. We got the better micro here. You better be real careful about your decisions.
And what's tough is they also might actually have the better macro just across the board, right? They were sitting at 0-3, 9-5, now 12-6. And even if Twisted Minds did draw first blood, the rest of Liquid Echo, no, what's up, like this?
Oh, the play once again. Sending in the right targets. Even Minoan Fury is just a little too late. Feather Airstrike doesn't find anything off of this. The flank, the diversion from Liquid Echo, making it seem easy. Hoda is trying his best to clear that way, but it's too late. The crystal might just fall here. No more minions. He buys a little bit of time, but the inevitable is happening. Benny QT still staying alive, and finally Hoda is able to shut him down. Liquid Echo take game number 1.
Sensory overload for Twisted Minds. The villain find a hero on horseback. Suffering defeat here in game 1 of this best of 2. It's tough. I gotta tell you, Gideon, every single player on Twisted Minds had to deal with so many things coming their way, starting from minute 0.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have to start winning the laning phase, and I think that's the most important part, especially with some of their picks, right? If your assassin doesn't find that initial kill, you gotta invest elsewhere.
And maybe that just shows that the draft is one way to regroup, one way to recalibrate. I like the switch up again. I agree with the analysts, but let's see what they think as we throw over to Lafel, Mirko, and Wolf.
Thank you very much to get in as well as Leo, and honestly, shout out to our casters. Whenever they do a play here, they tell us which Sanji they're talking about.
Yeah,
so you know what? Shout out to them. It looks easy, but trust me, folks, it's
difficult. It's difficult, definitely. And what's not difficult is the playstyle of TLPH, for at least from their perspective, because it looked very comfortable to the point where at 4 minutes in, you have your Moskov, your gold laner, using SOD on the opposite side of the map, trying to make a play, and still come up on top afterwards, especially with this one, the Moskov countering the Fanny.
You know, I love the new skin on the Moskov. The TP animation is absolutely amazing. But speaking of which, in this game, we even hear the casters talk about how they should have gotten the draft online much earlier, but they couldn't do it against the LPH.
That's the thing, right? When Wolf said, you know, he didn't really like the draft, I was actually talking about how I kind of like the draft, right? Because with the Fanny, yes, you get countered on paper hard by that Moskov whenever you want to try to go and initiate. But the thing is, you have so many ways to actually dive, to look for the shred as well to a lot of the frontliners that TLPH have. The thing is, they didn't even get to start, right?
No.
Yeah. TLPH were able to dominate in their lanes individually, and they just got out-mechanicked in lane.
The thing is, TLPH, they survive a lot coming in from Twisted Mind, and it's all JP's fault.
Yeah, it's all JP's fault. The bloom coming out from the Florid. One of the standard heroes for TLPH. We saw that in the playoffs of MPLPH. And the way that they use it is that they combo it up with Moskov or hard carry, so that you definitely have that bridge to the late game. And JP has mastered this playstyle where he can just sit back and be able to farm. The thing with Florid is that it's very weak in the first turtle.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to do. The compensation there for the side of TLPH is that they went in for Baksha as well as Arlen, heroes that are not that dependent in the items.
Yeah, just the Express had stood no chance in game number 1 up against the Echo Express, and how they were able to tackle that, I would say, all the way from the start of the game was to make the gold lane a non-lane. Because the Roger versus the Moskov, we were talking about how it could be a skill matchup. It is a skill matchup, but definitely it favors the Roger in this specific matchup.
Yeah.
In this, with the addition of the Florin though,
yeah,
no, he still got the Sky Piercer. I think it was very, very forced to go for the first item, Sky Piercer, up against a Moskov who was getting babysitted by the Florin. So the Roger really struggled to find its place in the early game.
So, gentlemen, can we talk about Benny Cutie, though?
Benny?
Let's talk about Benny Cutie, though. I mean, like, dude, he made plays over plays over plays.
Yeah.
And there were multiple times where they're like, yo, we gotta kill this guy. But Benny Cutie's like, nah, I'm gonna get you. Low HP, JP, back me out. Let's talk about Benny Cutie.
Yeah, very smart with the usage of the SOD, especially because you can kind of pick where you will teleport afterwards after the activation.
Get to choose where to blink.
And you also have a vision for about 5 seconds, so yeah, you really know where to really get into which part of the map. And you saw that you utilizing the dash, the natural dash of the Moskov, as well as the flicker to get into like distances that you wouldn't really expect. It kind of felt like an assassin marksman in Benny Cutie's hands.
We've been seeing a lot of different ways to actually utilize the battle spell, or what battle spell you want to actually go for. You can go for the Inspire, you can go for the Purify, but in this case, going for the Flicker was just phenomenal. Knowing that you'll have additional sustain already, it just gave him so many different ways to actually approach the skirmishes, and even very early on, remember this SOD. Usually on a Moskov, you take that and it's like, bro, you shouldn't have taken that. That's not bro. But he takes it, he makes it work, and somehow he outscales everyone so fast in the game. I think in the mid game, he already had like 3 item power spikes.
I mean, like, here's the thing. We make it sound easy, but once you hit the Spear of Destruction, and then even though you have
the
options,
sod.
the sod. Once you hit the sod, dude, it's like you have options, right? But the thing is, you only have a few seconds. You don't have a big time frame to make a decision. And Benny Cutie just keeps making decisions day by day, just like that. So now he's looking good. In fact, let's actually look at our MVP. And I gotta say, with how much we talking about Benny Cutie, though, should be Benny Cutie, though.
It'll be pretty cool if it wasn't Benny Cutie, but I think it should be Benny Cutie, bro.
Yeah. Well, looking at Benny Cutie, though, again, the way he hits the sod.
He got corrosion, bro. Just on the corrosion, he rotates.
Yeah. It's very good, scoring the kill again. And then he saw up top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the play. And I would assume that maybe all the was not particularly looking. And sometimes he dragged the map, but then of course
It looked amazing. It looked amazing. But yeah,
amazing.
Honestly, like the Moskov using the first kill with the flicker reminds me of montages we see with the Bakito using the jab and the flicker at the same time. And again, during the entire time, I feel like Benny Cutie dropped very low once, but again, because JP was there, and like
exactly,
Jose, it's good for the hyper carry situation when you put our Sodi MVP on hard carry marksman.
931 GPM, especially because of how active it was. 4 minutes and 40 seconds, you see SOD being activated already with a Moskov way too early, but he knows that there's a lot of sustain and help for him. Eventually, he died after that play, but he still managed to clear out the lanes faster. And this is very interesting because what TLPH did in this particular game is to not actually freeze the lanes, right? Going up against Roger, they actually called the floor in and just fast cleared the wave.
Kept shoving.
Yeah, that's just interesting because usually that goes unfavorably for any team, right? So maybe this is TLPH really just knowing their limits.
And I would like to, point out the understanding of how they were actually able to utilize the snowball from the marksman, from the Moskov. Because usually, when you have such a big snowball, when you have such a big lead in the early game, you go for the 3-item power spikes, and maybe you want to go for a Windsucker, a Haas Claws, or more penetration with the Malefic Roar. But he knew that, you know what? I'm already dealing enough damage. Might as well get the win of nature. It's a different approach to the snowballing nature of, something like a Moskov. You don't go for extra damage. You go for the sustainability on top of the healing that you already get. That was quite ridiculous as well. And no one could touch him. That's why he could just flicker forward all the time. Blink forward. He could only move forward.
Honestly, it was a great first game in this match. But again, we're going to give time for both teams to prepare. So we're going for a break, but after this, we're continuing. We're going straight to game number 2. But for now, we're going for a break.
New adventures bring new challenges. Even as the heat rises, dandruff and grease won't stand a chance. With new Clear Men, powered by triple formula technology. To eliminate dandruff, itch, and grease, gives you 8 hours of freshness and 100% dandruff-free hair. New Clear Men, 0% dandruff, 100% confidence.
And now we're back for game number 2 of TLPH going up against Twisted Minds. And again, looking at the situation, it does look like even though Twisted Mind wants to play their game, TLPH just won't allow them, and that's kind of rude.
It is very rude, but in the Land of Dawn, it's actually what you need to do.
Oh, really?
I think so.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first from Mercury. If you want to win games, you got to be a bit rude.
I mean, they recalled in front of their faces, and that was one of the fastest games today, so they were successful, man.
And we're utilizing their Moskov sooner than you would think. Yeah, so definitely is rude and definitely is effective. And it is something that Twisted Minds have to wake up from. Maybe, of course, they've tried this Fanny pickup. Maybe try to limit it down in the next game. I know that they have their plans coming up against Team Liquid, the PH. Unfortunately, that will not work. Or maybe this is just the jitters. You know, maybe this is the first game for Twisted Minds. Maybe they're gonna be trying again. Maybe they're gonna be twisting our minds once again.
Speaking of twisting our minds, I'm gonna give you it could be an easy question, it could be a difficult question for Twisted Minds.
Okay.
Looking at TLPH, who should they shut down? Doesn't matter in the draft, in the game, who do you target?
Oh man, I think
Benny got the MVP, but should he get targeted?
I think so. I think usually but the marksman is the target. I think that's a general answer here. I think when it comes to like controlling Sanford, what you have to do is just to force him into heroes that aren't active. For Carl TZ, you can't stop the GOAT, the young GOAT, unfortunately, because he's gonna play. If you're forcing him to play utility, he's gonna play good. If you force him to play assassin, he's also gonna be playing good. So I think yeah, you're left with no choice here.
Well, I mean, throughout most tournaments I've seen, he has not stopped picking out the box here because no one stops him, right? I want to see someone force him on something like a Julian, but now we're jumping into the draft where Twisted Minds is first pick, TLPH second pick, and they still don't want to see Sanford on the Yuzong.
I don't think anybody wants to see Sanford on the Yuzong.
I want to see Sanford on the Yuzong.
I don't think any of his opponents wants to see him on a Yuzong. I think even in the grand finals of MPLPH, Falcons AP Bren, they were like, you know what? Nah, we're not gonna let you on the Yuzong. TLPH, they always, even when they get the chance to, they first pick the Yuzong. That's how confident they are. Sanford's capabilities on the Yuzong can carry the game single-handedly. So the fact now that Liquid Echo are on the red side up against Twisted Minds is going to be very interesting, right? Because Twisted Minds will be the ones to actually be able to dictate the drafts. They can force out some of these crazy prio bans for Echo to ban out, and for them, they'll just get rid of everything that they want to respect. But I agree. I think banning out or trying to target Carl TZ would be a good way, because Carl TZ is really the enabler of the team. We were talking about this as well for MPLPH, Wolf. I think you believe that, you know, even though Sanford won Finals MVP, you were making a case for Carl TZ because he enabled a lot of the plays to happen. And in Game 1, that's what happened. We got Benny as the MVP. He was the one that took the spotlight, but a lot of the skirmishes to set up for the diversion plays, to set up for the Spear of Destructions as well, it was Carl TZ.
Yep, and this time it's going to be the Baksha. That's a ban for Twisted Minds, which, as we have mentioned, is one of the more important picks here that TLPH can have. Harith is going to be banned out as well from TLPH. Definitely a great answer. However, I think TLPH might just let go of the Luigi. Kind of feels like they want to bait it out and then pick up Faramis and Arlot afterwards. So there's this chance that the Valentina is the ban here for TLPH as their third ban. That's what I'm thinking.
So far, no one really has been prioritizing the Angela, even if Angela gets picked here. And Twisted Minds, they are going for full target ban. The Yuzong, the Baxia, the Moskov. We've seen the Moskov getting banned, of course, in the first pick, but
Louis banned.
This is very interesting. Louis has been banned. Faramis is open, but do they even want to go for it? Perhaps they just want to go for the Valentina.
Yeah, I think with the Valentina open, it does, you know, fit a bit
Roger.
better.
Oh no.
Oh.
So this is definitely a Faramis situation here for TLPH, and I think they don't mind if they pick up the if Twisted Mind picks up they pick up Valentina, and as well as the Edith. All right, so you cannot pick the Faramis now, definitely 100%, because Edith counters the Faramis already. Then Valentina also counters the Faramis, so I think you're gonna be forced with a Farsa here if you are Twisted Minds. And you cannot let not pick it right now because TLPH will just ban it out afterwards. So I'm guessing Farsa Arlot here for the side of Twisted Minds.
This asset, by the way, is just still so beautiful, right? The fact that we can see these heroes.
Valentina is beautiful.
Yeah, right? I was like, I was kind of stunned.
I'm liking her day by day.
Yeah. With the MSC skin, do you think she looks more beautiful?
Here's the thing. For me, my number one is always Kagura, so...
All right. What about Kadita, though? Kadita pick with the Arlet together. Twisted Minds definitely want to try that Twisted Express again, just with a different flavor. Carl Teasy talking about him on the enablers. Now he wants to be the carry. That's a Ling for Mr. Carl.
What I don't like about the Kadita is that you give a big ultimate for the Valentina to have going up against the Roger, right? Valentina alone versus the Roger is already very good, but if you add in the rough waves, that's gonna be difficult. And TLPH reads through that, bans the Kaja, classic combo for the Kadita. Also, a hero that kind of counters the this Ling. So I think the next ban should be Tigreal for the side of TLPH. But then again, this already this Valentina Ling combo is already very strong.
Let's actually start first with the first 3 picks coming in from Twisted Minds. These 3 picks requires a lot of mechanical prowess here. So things could look cool, but things could go wrong very, very fast. So the execution coming in from Twisted Minds, having this first three picks shows a lot of confidence. But the moment, say, the first 3 minutes, they blunder a few engages, not going to be looking good for their draft.
They need to be very, very organized. And that's something in game number 1 that TLPH was able to punish from Twisted Minds. They weren't organized. In a lot of the jungle skirmishes as well, I remember we were just screaming at the TV saying, choose one member you want to go for. Because for Twisted Minds, when they find themselves in these, chaotic and awkward duels, they kind of have their own thought process, every single one of them. And no one really decides who to go for in the skirmish. So yeah, definitely the layering of the CC, the layering of this damage, especially in the early game before they get going, they have to try to organize that. But later on, they can go for that.
Is this crazy for Twisted Mind to go something for like a Clint? If you want to go full burst, like put Roger in the... again, it's crazy, right? Being like a full damage comp, but maybe against the LPS, you gotta go local.
Yeah. Perhaps. Maybe a Franco to go with the Kadita. TLPH though, I think they're going to be forced to go for the Benedetta. The way that they think about this is that they're going against the Kadita as well as the Arlet. They need a little bit of vision, right? So they have to find a hero that can just run through. And maybe go for something very standard like a Beatrix or a Ruby for their gold laner.
What about a Claude?
A Claude versus a Kadita, yeah, that could work. But that means Sling and Claude, which is very farm dependent. Which is definitely, okay, workable. Okay. Did not expect that to be the choice, but they still did it. So, does this mean Lolita for Twisted Minds going up against the Claude? Or a Minotaur? But that, again, gives a big ultimate for the Valentina.
A Joe.
So I'm thinking like actually like Franco and probably Franco and Fredrin perhaps for the setup. Franco and Julian actually works.
For Twisted Minds?
For Twisted Minds, yeah.
I feel like if it wasn't Troll, if it was Maro, right? That something
like
Franco
you're right.
would pop up
for
here.
Sure.
But the thing is, for Troll, it really does feel like he finds more success on these kind of initiators, like the Grok, the Kajas. That's why CLPH, they've done their homework. They've actually banned it out. And for Twisted Minds, I'm just looking at it, the Cho does come out, so shout out to LaFell there. With the Nolan, too, they get that lockdown. They get the physical defense shred, technically, with the new passive of that Cho. But this is full aggression. Like you mentioned, man, if they don't get going at the start of the game, it'll be deja vu game number 2.
I think it's
game number 1, sorry.
Tigreal territory. Oh, there it is.
Yep. There we go. We've been able to call out the roaming picks for both teams. And again, Twisted Minds, I feel like this is all or nothing. And speaking of all or nothing, we're throwing it over to the casters. You guys think this is going to work?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know what all or nothing has to do with it working. But good call on the roamers. Good call on setting up what each lineup wants to do. Again, Twisted Minds, they got to get their minds in the game because game 1 did not go their way.
It really didn't. And I think, when it comes down to these like all-ins that our panelists were talking about, it's so combo-oriented, right? It's who can execute better, who can get down that nasty CC chain.
And if you're thinking about game 1, it's maybe our opponents will let this happen.
Oh, let it happen? Just to really push the limits?
Yeah, but you're going up against Liquid Echo, you're going up against the MPL Philippines Season 13 champions, the former M Series World Champions, and they're not gonna lay down and take it. Here we go, game number 2 in a best of 2. This is the group stage of MSC 2024 at EWC. You need to make every game count.
Yeah, I think that this game in particular, if Twisted Minds can take it away, that would be a big statement in and of itself. And honestly, it's been a while. Walk me through this because you've been casting MPLPH for a while. When's the last time we've seen Carl TZ on an assassin like Ling?
All right, looking back at the history of Carl TZ, which I'd like to think I am an expert on.
Of course, he is the GOAT, naturally.
Carl TZ fan. I believe he's the best in the world. I'd say on average 1 in 20 games of Carl TZ in the past year were assassin games.
Dude,
so those are low odds, man.
Very low odds.
So this is once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
literally.
Honestly, I think it would have made my day if he was playing Lancelot. I think that's the one thing that I missed for a very long time, you know? What truly made him to be the GOAT in the first place? That's
literally him.
That is him. He's got a skin designed around it as well, which he never uses on stream.
He actually refuses to. It seems to be by principle. Looking at the early game again, Sanji here, just pushing, cuffing back. Hold up! Oh.
Very good movement. Very good movement from Sanji from TLPH. But he did have to use that Purify to ensure that at least when the rifts collide, they don't get the initial slow. But hold on, once again, trying to make sure that he is determining where his domain actually is. Carl TZ could try to go for this 1v1, but he's trying to bait out spells from Hoda to waste the energy as much as possible, exhaust the man.
Yep, looking at the early gold lead that Liquid Echo has, that allows for an early sword to be built by Carl TZ. Maybe an item ahead for the XP laners from Liquid Echo. And so far, Turtle, I'd say you have a small advantage for TLPH.
Small, but at the same time, oh, look at the bot side of the map. This might just be first blood here as Carl TZ and BittyQT going for a clean dive. Gets the knockup as well. Carl TZ, he's still got it.
Mind you, has the war cry, so he definitely needs to get those swords up in, and then finally the basic attack, final slash starting it up.
Oh, they're pushing back, but Sanji makes the opportunity into a bigger play here with the final slash stolen away onto the Twisted Minds of Sanji. He should be going down, but he still is able to walk out. Sanji's trying to get closer to him. Sanford is the one who finds it, and Cuffin steals away the turtle. And now they start backing away, and hopefully Cuffin can actually make it through. Sanji, he can still get damage down, but not enough cooldowns just yet. Troll is gonna go for the kick. Doesn't get him underneath tower range just yet. JP gets to walk for free.
I mean, if it was any other target from Liquid Echo, that kick would have been amazing on Troll, but the passive on Tigreal allows for early game physical damage to mean nothing.
He is one thick boy, as we like to call it.
6 Cs.
6 Cs. That's the perfect way to describe it. But let's look at this replay one more time.
All right, so again, it was Twisted Minds first to the scene, and then the CC chain was just much better for Liquid Echo, but that did not stop Cuffin because again he was underwater. He was immune to all of this. That's why he was able to burst down the turtle despite everything happening. But that doesn't stop the team fight from actually being executed, right?
Oh, the kick! No, we can't watch it. Oh, Sanji still has his Purify. Gets on out of there.
He literally just pressed it and then went for the recall. That's one finger within a second's width. Going Purify recall. He's still there.
He's still there. He's still there. He's making sure that his presence is not. Wait, they're gonna spot. Wait, Sanji can spot.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Do they know Troll spots him out instantaneously? He gets on out of there and transforms into Roger. That's how confident he is. I stole the wrong ult, but I got to use it at some point, right?
Fair, he knows that there's no kick. He just got kicked.
So this is so funny because one of Valentina's IMUs, it's great when you have a metamorph ability or a transformative ability because then you get everything else in the kit.
For the remainder, yes. Another kick by Troll!
It looks to be good, but JP, he tried to slow them down, but still Hoda finds one. Carl TZ's able to trade one back in Troll. That's going to be Sanji for Troll, and it looks like Twisted Minds, they hit up.
That's Liquid Echo Sanji, by the way. Sanji from Twisted Minds still up top, going 1v1 against Sanford, who by the way, he's very close to EXP with, so at least Sanji from Twisted Minds can know that, hey, when it comes down to it, I can be as chunky or as good on the CC and the initiations as I need to be. Now the bottom, Benny's in trouble!
Oh, it looks like he's just going to get run down here. Oh, and Hoda just waiting by the BMI as well. Sanji unable to do much as Troll slows him down on that rotation here. So far, so good, but the next turtle does fall into the hands of Carl Teasy.
Very reminiscent of game number 1, despite Liquid Echo playing a very different lineup and a very different play style. Oh, it's very similar to game number 1 underneath. Tier 1 down bottom, Sano gets to taste Carl Teasy's blade.
Greedy. He greeted out for the wave. You got to be careful. If you are low, you do not want to be exposing yourself because you're just asking to die to Carl on this Ling. Lings are dangerous for this one reason. But now we see the rotations from both Sanji and JP. Troll, he spots this out.
But there's no follow through. Troll is but a key with no hole to put in. There's no doors to open up there, but up top, final slash on the one. Why did we pull away?
They want to force the ult out of Sanford as quickly as possible because they still have the kick, and they do find it. A clean dive for the side of Twisted Minds. They should be trading tier 1s on the opposite ends of the map.
40. I don't know what the play was for Liquid Echo there. I don't think they made much space. Same maybe for bottom. They got the bottom push.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it was, right? Twisted Minds, Troll spotted out the initial rotation, and they're like, okay, hands off. We're going to the top side of the map to make a play. They got the dive successful, and look, the worst part about it is that the tier 1 is still available for Liquid Echo and on top side of the map.
I guess that was worth it for the flicker and for the life of Sanford. And Liquid Echo still did eventually get the turret down bottom. Now in mid, they're threatening it. Oh, the kick!
The kick is so good. Sanji walks away. A very weird looking interaction, but now with the implosion as well. Benny QT just sitting on the edge. The BMI as well. Hoda finds one, looking for another opportunity. He has the purple buff, so he can make the play, but it looks like he will get on out of there. Not enough. Sanji actually finds the final slash onto 3 targets, allowing him to get back in, but Carl says that's what I've been waiting for. Takes them all out. The cleanup is a good, and Sanji still from Twisted Minds evens it up. Well done.
As bloody as that was, despite there being a lot of casualties from Liquid Echo, you could not ask for a better outcome. Carl Teasy is full on core once more. Check out the replay. Man, this is bringing back memories. It feels like it's 2019 all over again.
Oh, don't remind me about 2019 all over again. That was a good time. He's still, I love seeing Carl on these assassins, man. It's only once in the blue moon do you ever see him actually perform.
And he's currently deathless after securing that final turtle. 7.5 minutes in, they are looking at a 3,000 gold lead, which, by the way, doesn't look like much. But in a bloody exchange, look at this Carl Teasy and stuns. He's unstoppable.
I mean, he can pinch points into there. Oh, he spots out Troll.
Sandwiched. All right,
no.
he's fine. All right, he lands. What I was saying is, with a kill score at like 7 to 10 and the turrets being as close as they are, this is the best thing you can expect, especially from 2 lineups that both have assassins. Which is weird because we haven't seen this as much in recent years. We usually see large exchanges, and now wait, Troll gets the kick one more time.
He's trying to make this actually happen. I mean, everybody's trying to make the play, and finally Sanji from Twisted Minds pulls 2 under, but it's too late. Troll is already dead, and now the mid-tier 1 is going down as we see Carl Teasy splitting on the opposite side, 1v1ing Hoda, but look at the damage that Liquid Echo is applying to the Twisted Minds' map. Mid-tier 1, now mid-tier 2 as well, should be falling, and JP just saving the HP of the minions as he's going for the recall.
That's a triple kill for the Lone Stallion. Impressive work once more from Sanji, who, by the way, has been ego-checking Twisted Minds since minute 1.
Yeah, he has really been flexing. Whenever he has that Purify, he is hyper-confident in making that play. Oh, here we go. Gets kicked this time. Still unable to get out of there. He got confident without the Purify and gets punished.
There you go. It was bound to happen. Again, Sanji is not superhuman, although sometimes it does look quite damn close. He is not. He's still playing with a rather soft mage in mid that's doing wonders for Liquid Echo, but he still has to respect the boundaries. Because again, Twisted Minds, much respect to them, they never let up. Again, Troll is averaging what now? Maybe 1.5 kicks per minute? He always finds a target.
Yeah, honestly, he's been very accurate with it as well, right? He's kicking them in the right direction, optimal positions as well. But truly, it comes down to just one battle spell.
Usually, yeah. And now it's about to come off of Sanji's cooldown since he respawned. And now he's back to the scene. It's river control for Liquid Echo right now as they start up this Lord. Cutie just bashing away at this major objective. About 10 minutes into game number 2. Purple secured by Carl TZ. And now Troll looking for another.
Forces the Shunpo, gets the initial kick. This is not looking good. They're trying to chain CCJP down, but it's honestly not even close. He tanks the damage and Carl TZ goes in straight into the back line. Oh, the implosion finds one. They got Hoda, and now the rest of them will start to fall. It's not even remotely close.
And in a snap of a finger, a blink of an eye, 4 fall for Twisted Minds. And this is where the cavalry smell blood on the battlefield. Look at that. There's a wave in mid with the Lord, an enhanced wave down bottom, another up top. Carl TZ, deathless. I bet he missed this.
Yeah.
I bet he missed this.
He's like, this is like the good old days. And Sanji, he's just standing there menacingly, finds the opportunity. Kuffin tries, but honestly, the rough waves ain't gonna connect on anybody. Final Slash already coming out as well. And now that's Carl TZ just auto-attacking Troll. And that's just the end of the game. That's it. That's all they wrote. What?
This is what they call in the streets a liquid stampede. Under 11 minutes, Liquid Echo finish the game in sweep. Twisted Minds. With a bit of nostalgia on the side, why not?
Yeah, why not? What a game coming out from the side of TLPH. They walk away, they're looking hyper comfortable. This is why they have been world champions before. This is why they are one of the favored teams.
GG will play the Twisted Minds. Again, a lot of lessons learned from game 1. Here in game 2, they tried to do a lot. Again, even in the face of adversity, even when the odds are against you, again, they put on a show. I gotta say, in the 11 minutes that they put up against Liquid Echo, I'm pretty entertained.
I am too. This is one of the few games where it's not slow paced. It's all about how do we gain more momentum against our opponents.
And it's just not what an entertaining villain is supposed to do. Like, you just want to see them go. It doesn't matter if they win or they lose, but they put on a show.
Is this TLPH's villain arc starting today?
By defeating one of the villains in MPL MENA? Maybe. This is what Manjin Faldas calls the revenge tour.
The revenge
tour? They've lost so much in the past year. They didn't even make it to M5 to defend their world title. And here they are, playing like it's 2019, going game after game, play after play, finishing under 11 minutes.
Can you hear that in the back? You can hear people just screaming the name of Carl TZ, the man. If he's not MVP, I don't know what to say.
He's gotta be. He's gotta be. We're moments away from hearing from the Lord himself. He's on stage right now with Marakino.